And now I should be on YouTube as well. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Go to plus. Go on YouTube. Go to live. Sold the reject. Sold the reject. Yes. Nope, not topic. My bad. Sold the reject. And then I should be live. Yes, dude. And then I should be live. Yes, dude. I am a genius. Yeah, I am a genius. I got it on YouTube Live as well. That is so dope. I even got the little Yu-Gi-Oh logo on there. So now I'm on Kick, Twitch, and on logo on there. YouTube. Dude, I'm on 3 different platforms live at the same time. This is sick. This is game changing. Now, what I need to learn how to do is learn how to use the VODs on YouTube because YouTube Live is trash. What I need to learn how to do is get the VODs off that, make a thumbnail, and then that's for like later on use, so people click on it and then view the live stream in that way. From what I gather, so they could look at the like video game footage and all that stuff later on. But that's another thing I could tackle another day. Right now, I'm just excited that I got 3 live streams going at the same time. I'm a fucking genius, bro. So now I'm just gonna do some live streaming like normal, and yeah, I got that figured out. So now I'm just gonna do some live streaming like normal.
I am a genius.
And yeah, I got that figured out.
YouTube Live as well. That is so dope. I am a genius. I got the logo on there. So now I'm on Kick, Twitch, and on YouTube.
Figured it out. I'm a genius. All right, let's go back to live streaming, guys. So the Kick thing, I do want to look up Kick on this one. I'm going to download the app for Kick just so I can see people on my chat. Let's go to my channel. Go to this one. Oh, go to chat. I gotta turn that down. Go to chat. There it is. Now I can just look at chat. Perfect. Okay, so I can see chat on Kick. I can see chat on this one. I need to see chat on. I can't see chat on YouTube, but I heard it's trash anyways. Let's see. Where is the docs at? Docs. I heard it's trash anyways. And this is for Twitch. All right, cool. Now I can see. This is for Twitch. Stream chat without having, but I can also see it on here too. So. All right, I got Kick chat, stream chat. I guess I could use my TV for the. All right, I got Kick chat, Twitch chat. It'll just be delayed a little bit. And then Twitch chat. Let's just look up normal stuff I was gonna look up anyways, and just talk about live. All right, let's do it. So let's go to here and let's talk about live. All right, let's do Twitch stream live. So let's go to here. All right, go to YouTube. And let's go back. Whoa, let's check this out. What is this?
These protesters in Mexico City say cross-border migration is changing their country's capital for the worse. Over the last decade,
Ooh, I want to see this one.
Devastation from the tragic flash floods in Texas. Moments ago, the Department of Homeland Security provided an update that 91 innocent souls have now perished. Everyone here at the White House, including the President of the United States, is praying for the victims' families and friends during this unimaginable time. President Trump swiftly signed a major disaster declaration for Kerr County, Texas, to ensure our heroic first responders have every resource they need in the relief and recovery efforts. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem traveled to Texas over the weekend, and the entire Trump administration is working hand in glove with state and local officials to provide every assistance available. The situation on the ground remains dangerous.
Dude, like I was saying earlier on, or like a stream earlier, terrible. Like these kids. Oh, what's up? I figured it out. I was able to get YouTube, Kick, and Twitch stream all right now. I just did it right now.
Cool.
Yeah, I figured it out, and I have the overlay, so it all looks like that.
Nice.
Oh, I'm like, this is like, because I was like, Oh, God. So I was able to open up the package with the system's preferences, open up security, and go through the steps I was watching on YouTube. And then just step by step, just troubleshooting everything. I'm just like excited right now.
Is anyone on the stream?
Not right now.
Oh, okay.
But I just started, literally like right now.
Oh.
So I'm going to look up the Levitt thing where they're saying like the Epstein list is whatever. I'm not sure what she said, but I'm going to watch it right now.
Okay.
So I'm just going through the flood thing. It's pretty crazy though. I'm just proud of myself. I did all that like in 2 days. Like that was insane.
Good.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm excited. What's up?
No, I was just gonna say hi.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna do your schoolwork? Sounds good. All right, Mama. All right, let's do this.
And there could be additional public safety threats with potential incoming heavy rain. So we encourage everyone in the area to remain vigilant, listen to all warnings, and respond accordingly. Unfortunately, in the wake of this once-in-a-generation natural disaster, we have seen many falsehoods pushed by Democrats such as Senator Chuck Schumer and some members of the media, blaming President Trump for these floods.
Do Democrats love Chuck Schumer again? I don't even know what's going on with that. Last I heard, he got his Jew card, took it away. Oh.
Depraved lie, and it serves no purpose during this time of national mourning. Here are the facts. In the lead up to this tragic natural disaster, the National Weather Service did its job. Despite unprecedented rainfall, the National Weather Service executed timely and precise forecasts and warnings. On July 3rd, the National Weather Service office in Austin, San Antonio, Texas, conducted forecast briefings for emergency management in the morning and issued a flood watch in the early afternoon. Flash flood warnings were also issued on the night of July 3rd and in the early morning of July 4th, giving preliminary lead times of more than 3 hours before flash flooding conditions occurred. In the National Weather Service office in New Braunfels, which delivers forecasts for us.
At least 28 children among the dead, 10 summer campers missing. Fucking A. 91 confirmed dead. Oh my gosh.
San Antonio and the surrounding areas had extra staff on duty during the storms, despite claims of the contrary. So to any person who has deliberately lied about these facts surrounding this catastrophic event, you should be deeply ashamed. At this time, the administration's focus will be giving the victims
Man with rifle and tactical gear killed in shootout with Border Patrol.
in their communities the
In
support they
Texas? Bro,
deserve.
Texas is going down right now. What's going on over there? Yo, Texas is fucking popping off.
These recovery efforts in this tragic time. May God bless the great people of Texas, especially the parents who have lost their children. President Trump loves you. We are praying for you, and he will be traveling to see you later this week. Moving along to some further scheduling announcements. Tonight, President Trump will host the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, for dinner, where they will discuss the positive developments taking place in the Middle East region. Tomorrow, the President will host his 6th cabinet meeting of his second term. Many of you will be invited to cover that. And on Wednesday, the President will host leaders from 5 African nations for lunch in the state dining room. In other news, after the historic signing on the South Lawn of the White House on the 4th of July, President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill is now the law of the land. Republicans in Congress met the once-in-a-generation moment and codified the Make America Great Again agenda into law. After this monumental achievement, no other president in modern history has worked harder and faster to fulfill their campaign promises than Donald Trump. The One Big Beautiful Bill will get the United States of America firing again on all cylinders. It's safe to say that over the past few weeks, the president has delivered on many, many wins. For the 4th month in a row, jobs numbers beat market expectations with nearly 150,000 good jobs created in the month of June. The American economy has now added nearly 700,000 jobs since January 2025, with American-born workers accounting for all job gains. President Trump drove illegal border crossings to another historic low in the month of June, and Border Patrol once again released 0 illegal aliens into our country. The Supreme Court stopped activist judges from imposing nationwide injunctions and cleared the way for President Trump to carry out his popular and common sense agenda. The University of Pennsylvania agreed to all of the Trump administration's demands and will now keep men out of women's sports. President Trump secured
Yeah, that whole thing was pretty messed up. They're getting like a bunch of trophies. It's all they're winning everything, dude. The easiest bets you could place online. I never betted, but if I was betting, I'd bet it on the Trans Man.
This trade deal with Vietnam, giving the United States total access to their markets. Because of President Trump's unleashing American energy dominance, gas prices are at 4-year lows. And when adjusted for inflation, gas prices are near the lowest levels we've seen in the last 20 years. NATO members agreed to raise defense spending to 5% of GDP, a foreign policy feat long thought impossible.
Bro, they need to pay their share, bro. Fuck that. We're defending NATO? Hell no.
President Trump made it happen. The Operation Midnight Hammer obliterated Iran's nuclear capabilities, taking out this imminent national security.
As far as Iran, yeah, they were developing it, but they were so far off. I mean, bombing them, fuck it, let's do it, I guess. They're military, but like, they're civilians and all that stuff, and like the regime change and putting our troops on the ground, like it's getting, now we're getting towards that. And I'm like, I don't want our, boys and girls in the military army to go into another regime change for Iran. Like, let them do a rebellion themselves. Let them figure it out, because the last time we did it, totally fucked up.
Not just to the United States, but to the entire world. The president secured a ceasefire between Israel and Iran, ending the 12-day war. The president brokered a historic peace agreement between Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Pakistan nominated President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize in recognition of his decisive diplomatic intervention to prevent a nuclear war between India and Pakistan. Blue-collar wage growth has seen its largest increase in nearly 60 years, and President Trump has defeated Joe Biden's inflation crisis with core inflation at the lowest level since March of 2021. And just about all of that has happened in the last 3 weeks, and I know you all know it because you've been very busy here covering it along with us. So with that, I will take your questions today as we kick off another very busy week here at the White House. We'll lead with our new media seat, Brian Glenn, who is, of course, very present in this briefing room. He's put in a lot of hours covering this president, so we're glad you finally have a seat today. Brian, go ahead.
It was great to sit down. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I want to go back to the hurricane. You said that President Trump is scheduled to go to Texas later this week. Can you speculate on what day and what he has plans?
Sure. The White House is currently arranging those travel plans. We hope that it will be later this week, likely on Friday, but of course we want to do it at the most appropriate time.
On Friday, they're gonna be there for one day because they have to take off Saturday, Sunday. They should go on Thursday, bro.
For state and local officials, we don't want to interrupt the recovery efforts, but we're planning tentatively for a Friday trip, and when that becomes final, we'll let all of you know, as we always do.
And you gave a little bit of reaction earlier, but the National Weather Service, the union, actually publicly stated they had an adequate staff on hand to forecast and predict the storm. You shared your thoughts earlier on how the way the left has really weaponized this to blame the deaths in Texas on Trump. I'm going to comment on that again.
Yeah, I just do think those comments are depraved and despicable, especially when so many Americans are mourning the loss of their children. The National Weather Service, as I said, did its job. Many experts, many meteorologists have said that. Many of you in the media, in all fairness, have said that as well. Unfortunately, not all. And many Democrat elected officials are trying to turn this into a political game, and it is not. This is a national tragedy, and the administration is treating it as such. We know the National Weather Service provided early and consistent warnings. They gave out timely flash flood alerts. There were record-breaking lead times in the lead up to this catastrophe. There's ongoing flood monitoring, and these offices were well staffed. In fact, one of the offices was actually overstaffed. They had more people than they need. So any claim to the contrary is completely false, and it's just sad that people are pushing these
Let me
lies.
just get one more. Kind of a little bit of breaking news. The Department of Homeland Security moving to end the TPS status on Honduran and Nicaraguan migrants. Any plans to adding additional countries that you could be targeting? Just a reaction.
Sure. Well, I won't get ahead of the Department of Homeland Security on additional countries, but as you pointed out, they did end temporary protective status for Nicaraguans and Hondurans in this country because TPS, temporary protective status, is temporary by definition. It is not meant to be a permanent path to residency or citizenship. here in the United States of America. It was originally granted to Nicaraguans following a natural disaster in 1999. That doesn't sound very temporary to me. And as well as Hondurans in 1999 after the impact of Hurricane Mitch in 1998. And so this administration...
Just want to get paused. Now I'm able to see the chats for Kick, Twitch, and for YouTube. I was able to get my other computer online. I was able to get my phone and also the TV, so I can see everything right now.
Is doing what it promised to do, and if individuals from these countries want to come here, they have a legal pathway to do it, but temporary protective status was never meant to be permanent. The previous administration abused this status and this parole program, essentially treating it as such, and we're not going to tolerate that any further. Thank you, Brian. Megan.
Secretary Bessent said yesterday that countries will boomerang back to the April 2nd tariff level starting August 1st. Why did the president decide to have those tariffs not take effect Wednesday as originally scheduled? And I was also wondering if you could share, obviously we saw the letters the president sent out on Japan and South Korea, but if any other major U.S. trading partners are getting letters today.
Sure, yes, I can confirm. In fact, I have those letters. If you could get me the folder with the letters in them, Liz, they're right in the previous office. I have the signed letters that went out to both South Korea and Japan today. And there will be approximately 12 other countries that will receive notifications and letters directly from the President of the United States. And weeks ago, I stood at this podium and I told all of you that the President was going to create tailor-made trade plans for each and every country on this planet. And that's what this administration continues to be focused on. The President will also sign an executive order today delaying the July 9th deadline to August 1st. So the reciprocal tariff rate or these new rates that will be provided in this correspondence to these foreign leaders will be going out the door within the next month, or deals will be made, and those countries continue to...
Just a quick thing. I need to figure out like my like electrical setup, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to get like an extender and a super extension. Bro, that's so dope. The YouTube one has a little youth logo on there. That's so dope. I didn't even know that could do that.
With the United States, we've seen
I must have set that one up a long time ago.
Positive developments in the right direction, but the administration, the president, and his trade team want to cut the best deals for the American people and the American worker. That's what they're focused on. And in the effort of transparency, these letters will continue to be posted to Truth Social, so you can enjoy them yourself. Go ahead.
Thanks, Caroline. Just about the visit of Prime Minister Netanyahu today, I was just wondering why that is not open to the press. Previous visits by him, we've had Oval Office press conferences. Does that reflect somehow the kind of sensitivity of this particular visit?
No, they're having a private dinner. There's many important matters that are obviously ongoing in the region, as you know.
Who we bombing next, Netanyahu?
The utmost priority for the president right now in the Middle East is to end the war in Gaza and to return all of the hostages. Also, as you know, there was a ceasefire proposal that Israel supports that was sent to Hamas, and we hope that they will agree to this proposal. We want to see all of the hostages released. That's on the top of the president's mind, so that will be discussed, as well as the many other positive developments we've seen in the Middle East. I want to go back to the trade deals. As you see, we have these beautiful letters that the president has signed. This one is to the President of the Republic of Korea, original signature on that, and these will be mailed. And then here we also have another letter to the Prime Minister of Japan as well. Both countries will be receiving a 25% tariff rate effective on August 1st.
A 25% tariff rate? That's lower than 50, right? So that's good. I think that's a good thing.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much. You said it, and the president said it.
And Japan is our ally, right? So better treat them right, bro. I need my Sony PlayStation 5s, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Take my little magnesium.
An end to the war in Gaza. Will he give guarantees during the 60-day period of ceasefire that actually the war will end? Because this is a sticking point with Prime Minister Netanyahu, and I'm wondering if they see eye to eye on this point. And how do you see the next day? What the next day in Gaza will look like?
Look, right now the president is focused on today, and to get Hamas to agree to this ceasefire. I don't want to comment on the details of the arrangement out of respect for these negotiations, but a agreeable and appropriate ceasefire proposal has been sent to Hamas. And I can also tell you Special Envoy Witkoff intends to travel to Doha later this week, where he will continue to engage in these discussions. And the Qataris and the Egyptians have been incredibly helpful partners in mediating these negotiations and discussions to bring peace to this region and end this conflict once and for all.
Kristen, 2 questions. Thank you, Carol. Sure. The first question is President Trump reconsidering his plan to phase out FEMA, given what officials have said is their critical role on the ground now in Texas?
Look, the president wants to ensure American citizens always have what they need during times of need. Whether that assistance comes from states or the federal government, that's a policy discussion that will continue. And the president has always said he wants states to do as much as they can, if not more. And in the case of Texas, the state and local officials are doing a tremendous job. And I know the president, Secretary Noem, and the federal government are very proud to be working with them. And the president has promised to give Texas the assistance that they need during this tragic time.
Bro, they need to fix that damn FEMA thing, dude. Because, like, every time we have a disaster, it takes forever for the red tape to get through, for the money to get to the people that need to be getting. I don't even think the Palisades people that got their the houses burned in California, I still think they don't have their money. Bro, they're still fucking out there trying to rebuild. Like, that's crazy.
On cuts overall, over the weekend, President Trump said that Elon Musk was a train wreck. Are there, given this current viewpoint, are there concerns within the White House or from the president himself over the cuts that happened under Musk while he was advising DOGE, including the National Weather Service?
I think I've already addressed that, Kristen, and what I can tell you is that these offices were fully staffed. The San Angelo office was fully staffed with 12 forecast meteorologists. There were no vacancies. The San Antonio office was operating with 11 forecasters. And as Brian said, the union themselves said that there was adequate staffing. So I think those words speak for themselves and the numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it was staffed up to the teeth, but you can only warn so much, especially when the water rises, 20 feet in 2 hours? Like, that's insane.
This was a once-in-a-century flash flood, a tragic natural disaster, and the administration is doing all that we can on the ground to help these families during this time of need. Jeff.
Thanks very much, Kelly. Just following up on Kristen's question, is it still the president's plan to phase FEMA out by the end of this year?
I just answered Kristen's question for you.
One more, hold on, one more.
I'll give it to you. Go ahead.
The follow-up on trade as well. 12 more letters coming, he said. Can you give us a sense of which countries those are?
I'll let the president reveal those in very due time. Keep your eyes on Truth Social. Michael, in the back.
Thank you, Caroline. An armed shooter today was shot in McAllen, Texas, after opening fire on Border Patrol agents. It comes just days after Democratic Congresswoman Purina Jayapal recently said she gets, quote, inspired when activists obstruct ICE. So the White House expect Democrats to tone down.
Damn, we got people fucking shooting at ICE people now? Oh my God. Texas is wild, bro.
The rhetoric in light of what we saw today in McAllen, Texas.
We certainly call on Democrats to tone down their rhetoric against ICE and Border Patrol agents who, again, are everyday men and...
They for sure killed the guy. But that's insane. You going to work and you just get shot at. No, that's every day for police, right?
I would encourage AOC and other Democrats to actually meet with the United States Border Patrol. These are honorable Americans who are just simply trying to do their job to enforce the law. They go home to their families every night just like we all do, and they deserve respect and dignity for trying to enforce our nation's immigration laws and to remove public safety threats from our communities. The White House is aware of the shooting that took place today in Texas, and we are working with the appropriate federal agencies to get to the bottom of what happened.
Caroline, the DOJ and FBI have now concluded there was no Jeffrey Epstein client list.
That's complete bullshit, bro. That's bullshit. That is bullshit, first and foremost. There is definitely a list. Look at her eyes, bro. I clicked right on and she's like, motherfucker, don't ask me that fucking question. There's definitely a list.
Epstein's alleged crimes to be held accountable.
This administration wants anyone who has ever committed a crime to be held accountable, and I would argue this administration has done more to lock up bad guys than certainly the previous administration. And the Trump administration is committed to truth and to transparency. That's why the Attorney General and the FBI Director pledged at the President's direction to do an exhaustive review of all of the files related to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes and his death. And they put out a memo in conclusion of that review. There was material they did not release because, frankly, it was
yo, what up? What up, Late Night Mike? Yeah, is that Connie? Connie, is that you on Kick? Hey, I appreciate you, my guy.
graphic, and it contained child pornography, which is not something that's appropriate for public consumption. But they committed to an exhaustive.
Hey, is my levels okay? Is my sound okay? Hey, thanks for joining, bro. I appreciate you, brother.
Investigation. That's what they did, and they provided the results of that. That's transparency.
Follow up on that. Okay, so the FBI looks at the circumstances.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. They said that these fucking Epstein lists, it never existed, bro. They're saying there's no list. Yo, they're saying there's no list, bro. That's fucking bullshit, bro.
The death of Jeffrey Epstein. According to the report, this systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said
on her desk, bro, and all of a sudden it's gone. There's no list. That don't make no sense.
Interview, which was on your network on Fox News. Go ahead.
John Roberts said DOJ may be releasing the list of.
Hey, keep going after her, bro. Keep going after her, bro.
Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that. But again, when it comes to the FBI and the Department of Justice, they are more than committed to ensuring that bad people are put behind bars. They have an operation going on right now called Summer.
Or an alligator mouse. Bro, either behind bars or you're getting chewed the fuck out of alligators on Alcatraz or whatever.
Which has our murder rate trending in the lowest direction in United States history. Their emphasis on violent crime and locking up violent criminals has led to the arrest of 14,000 violent criminals. That's a 62% increase from the same time period last year. So this Attorney General and the FBI Director are committed to putting bad people behind bars where they belong. That they promised an exhaustive review. That's what they did. For any further details, I would refer you to the Department of Justice.
Thanks, Caroline. With Prime Minister Netanyahu visiting the White House today, yesterday the president said that he was working on a permanent...
Yo, yes, I did watch the Epstein shit. If there's a video link that you want me to check it, like there's more info on it, just send it to me. I'll definitely look up the link. I was gonna say, yo, you better put extra security on the White House with Netanyahu in that motherfucker, bro. I feel like just like those two people got shot not too long ago. Oh man, hey, beef up security, bro.
Wrong, but several days ago you didn't think one was necessary. What changed?
Well, when you asked me about this, or you asked me about this several weeks ago, I said the president thought maybe an Iran deal was not necessary, but of course the president is always interested in peace and diplomacy. That remains true, and the administration continues to be in contact, both directly and indirectly, with the Iranians on a deal.
And then on tariffs, you're now delaying the deadline from July 9th to August 1st. Is that an acknowledgement that perhaps the administration found it more difficult to negotiate these trade deals, or whatever happened to 90 deals in 90 days?
No, it's an acknowledgement that this administration is doing what's best for the American worker, and we want the best deals possible for our workers, for our manufacturing base.
That shit getting delayed like a motherfucker. Let me. I want to check the levels on my stuff real quick. Hold on. Let me see. That shit getting delayed. Oh yeah, it's nice. It's nice. All right. Just wanted to check it on Twitch if anything.
Our middle class, and they are doing this deliberately and appropriately on behalf of our country's interests. Josh.
A couple more on the tariffs. You said about 12 more letters. There were about 55 or so countries, including the EU as a bloc, that were facing this tariff increase. All of those, to understanding correctly, are now deferred to August 1st, right?
Correct.
of the 12, what happens with the remaining, whatever it would be, 40
So
something?
just 12 today. There will be additional letters in the coming days.
So all of them are going to get a letter at some point.
Correct.
Okay, and can you tell me why he decided to start with South Korea and Japan? Are they annoying him?
It's the president's prerogative, and those are the countries he chose.
Okay, on the sectoral tariffs, our understanding that these continue to be a separate track. We're still waiting on a bunch of
That's right.
Is there any timing update on when he's going to move on, for instance, semiconductor tariffs and other things that are still in the hopper?
I don't have a timing update, but for where they are in the process, I would defer you to the Department of Commerce.
We expect deals finally as well. You know, this Vietnam deal already close. I mean,
Hey, bro, thank you. Dude, I worked so hard on the stream, bro. I worked so hard on the stream. Like, it took me 2 days to figure this shit out. Like, but like, just in it, not even fucking in the stream, bro. I appreciate that.
And the administration, yes, we are close, but again, the president
I
wants
just figured out how to do the YouTube and Twitch all at the same time, bro. I appreciate it.
to ensure these are the best deals possible. And I would add just one more thing.
Hey, I'm proud of myself, bro. I'm proud of myself. I look this way because the chat for the kick is on this side, so just so you know.
And tariffs to wrap it up. Look at the extensive work this president has put into cutting these good deals and doing what's right for the American worker. He is literally looking at the map and looking at every country on the planet and seeing where they are ripping off the American people, seeing where they have hollowed out our industrial base, seeing where our jobs have gone to other countries overseas because of their tariff policy.
Hey, yo, check India, bro, because they got all the call centers over there scamming motherfuckers. Bring those jobs back, bro. Give me the call center job. I'll be on the fucking phone and be like, hey, what's going on with the representation, blah, 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 you know, just help out. I'm good with customer service, bro. Come on now.
And he's trying to correct that. So this is decades of bad trade policy that has led to a deficit that is ravaging our country, that is ravaging our middle class, and the president is taking a very deliberate approach to correcting this wrong of many decades, of many past presidents. And so I think he should be commended for the time and the effort that he is putting into this. And the fact that he has announced a framework with China, a trade deal with the United Kingdom, a trade deal with Vietnam, and many others to come in just a matter of 6 months is truly historic, and it's a testament to this president and his trade team who are working around the clock to get this done. Sure.
Thanks so much, Caroline. Two questions from Iran. What's the permanent deal with Iran looks like for the president, and what issues related to Iran should it cover? And secondly, has the president seen the interview with Iranian president, which he says that the United States president, Mr. Trump, is capable enough to guide the regions toward the peace and brighter future, and put Israel into its place, or it gets more into conflict? Has the president seen these comments, and what's his reaction to these comments?
I'm not sure if he's seen those comments, but certainly I think it's true that the president is the right man for the job to move the direction, this region into the direction of peace and stability for the future. That's what he and his national security team are working on every day, and we've already seen historic achievements in that direction. Go ahead. In the back. Kelly, go ahead.
Great.
Sure. And then in front of you.
A couple questions for you. First,
Y'all need name tags.
First question on the flooding in Texas. I know there has been some concern about the timing of the alerts, knowing that they did go out, but the warnings coming out in the wee hours, so while many people were likely sleeping. Can you share just details what you know about why those warnings were sent while people were likely sleeping, and then what the administration is doing to ensure that these alerts come out sooner?
Well, the alerts imminently were sent out before the flood when people were sleeping because the flood hit in the very early hours of the morning. So
yeah, exactly. It's like that's the whole problem with the flash flood. I get what she's coming at, because you can only predict so much, and then you don't want to send false flags. But I don't know. It's like, remember the tsunami tragedy that happened I think it was in Thailand. A lot of Americans went over there to, I think it was a vacationing spot. Anyways, they didn't have any warning for the tsunami. They probably had like a couple of seconds or a couple minutes before it actually happened. But I think they put a lot of money into the ocean technology-wise to, not prevent, but to, I guess, predict when the next one was. Fault was it for the flood. What does that mean? Fault was it for the flood. I don't know what that means, Mike. Anyways.
People were sleeping in the middle of the night when this flood came. That was an act of God. It's not the administration's fault that the flood hit when it did. But there were early and consistent warnings. And again, the National Weather Service did its job. On July 2nd,
I want to know when the first warning was sent out. Like the first Amber Alert text or whatever.
Initial notices of potential weather and flooding risks were issued. On July 3rd, escalating warnings throughout the day with a flood watch issued at 1:18 p.m. And then later at 6:10 p.m. on July.
Okay, they had 1 p.m., 6 p.m., and it didn't hit till I want to say 2 a.m. the next following day. It's one of those things you see it on the app, you see it on your phone, you see the warning, you look around, there's nothing going on, so you feel like you're safe, and you just go about your day like if nothing's happening. Oh, it's not happening in our town. And then next thing you know, 2 a.m.'s hitting when you're sleeping, and bam, there's a big old flood. Fuck, dude, that's terrible.
The Weather Prediction Center warned of excessive rainfall and a high likelihood of flash flooding. 6:22 p.m. July 3rd, National Weather Center issued a hydraulic warning highlighting considerable flooding risks, including in Carrollville County. And then there were the timely flash flood alerts at 11:41 p.m., 1:14 a.m., and then another flash flood emergency warning issued at 4:03 a.m. just before the flood hit. So those were all of the warnings that went out to the affected area and region.
Damn. And then the fact that Texas never gets those kinds of floods, so they're like, oh, this ain't shit, it's not gonna fucking happen here. And then bam, they just fucking get ran over with fucking water everywhere. Crazy.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Caroline. 2 questions for you relating to the Prime Minister's visit today. Number one, there's a report circulating that the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation provided a proposal to the White House to build these so-called humanitarian transit areas inside and outside of Gaza. The GHF is insisting it has nothing to do with that proposal. Can you shed any light on whether the White House has received such a proposal, and if so, from whom?
I'm unaware if a proposal from the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation was sent to the White House. I haven't seen it, but I can ask our National Security Council.
And also a document circulating that the White House is prepared to lift the foreign terrorist organization designation from HTS, the group of President al-Shara in Syria. Can you confirm that that's taking place?
Again, I haven't heard that, or I'm not aware of that action taking place. As you know, we did lift particular sanctions on Syria, but we did leave them on for particular terrorist groups. If that has changed, we will, of course, let you know if there's a change in policy, but I'm unaware of one at this time. Go ahead.
Thank you. Ahead of the president's meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu today, is there a scenario where Israel has made it clear that they will not bring an end to this war until Hamas is decimated? And the president just 5 months ago suggested a potential takeover of Gaza. Is there a situation where tonight the two men will change their posture, and in the scenario that Hamas turns over the remaining hostages?
And then now he's gonna say, "Kiss the fucking rings, bitch." And Trump's gonna kiss it, bro. Zionists fucking control America, bro.
That the war could come to a permanent end, and that they will seek that under that scenario that they would essentially try to bring this war to a permanent end beyond just that 60-day ceasefire.
Okay, and you're putting a hypothetical situation in the air, so I don't want to comment on that out of respect for these ongoing negotiations and discussions that are taking place. But as for the takeover of Gaza, I don't believe the president ever said that. I think he discussed a rebuilding of Gaza once this war is over. This has become an uninhabitable place for human beings. And
kiss the rings, bitch.
President has
no. It's kiss the wall. You better go to Israel and kiss that motherfucking wall, and you better pray to that bitch too.
He wants this to be a prosperous, safe part of the region where people and families can thrive, and there will be a need for a real rebuilding effort when the time comes. But right now we need to end this war, and we need to bring all of the hostages home. The president is adamant about that. Look, again, I will let the president speak for
the hostages that are underfed and starving, and then all of a sudden they start feeding them and they start dying. Like, fuck, this shit is fucked up.
later if he decides to comment on the details of the agreement, but out of respect for the discussions, I won't do that from the podium. Go ahead.
So Congressman Lawler and Gottheimer have introduced a bill in Congress, the Bunker Buster Act, that would allow the United States to sell B-2 bombers and bunker buster bombs to Israel. Is that...
Okay, no. Don't sell our badass weapons to Israel. They already have everything else that we have. I think they have better better intelligence agencies than we. I think they're infiltrated so much more than we have. Don't give them the buster bunkers too. That's all we got. I'm pretty sure they already have nuclear weapons and they don't let us inspect them. So I think that's all we got is the bunkers. So don't give them that, bro.
The president would support?
Well, I don't know if the president's aware of the Bunker Buster Act, but I will ask him and see what his opinion on that is. I'm not sure.
Thank you.
Hey, Carolyn. Building off of the question earlier about the shooter in Texas who targeted ICE, Axios reported today, I believe, that Democrat lawmakers were saying their constituents are calling on them to be more violent when they go to ICE facilities, including, I believe, they want them to shed blood, and that they said that
they want more people dead. Let's go, bro. Yo, don't incite that. That's the wild shit.
lawmakers should be willing to get shot themselves. Can you respond to that? And do you have concerns that any of these lawmakers might act on the wishes of their constituents?
It's hard to believe anyone with morals in this country or decency would say such a thing. Obviously, the White House condemns that rhetoric, and we condemn violence of any kind against any American.
All right, I will say that they're going a little too ham on even American citizens, rounding them up too. So there's got to be a simpler way to get this all figured out, because they're getting in. I heard like a dad that was like a Marine, a father of 3 Marines got in the deportation area for quite a long time. So even American citizens are getting rounded up. So they got to figure out a way to get that better. Like if I have the ID card and I can't speak a lick of Spanish, like you better not take my ass in there, or I'll start fighting.
Thank you, Caroline. I wanted to ask you if...
I was not calling on you, but you can go ahead. It's fine. There's a lot of people in here today.
President Trump already saw the letter that the Colombian president Gustavo Petro sent him, apologizing for his comments a few weeks ago, suggesting that there was an involvement from the U.S. government in an alleged coup d'etat in Colombia. And Secretary Rubio recalled the U.S. Charter d'Affaires in Colombia. Did President Trump saw that letter, and what do you think about the comments from President Petro suggesting that the U.S. has some kind of involvement in a coup?
I'm not sure if the president has seen that letter, but I can check with him in the National Security Council. We will get you a response. If you follow up with my team, we will find out for you. Sure, go ahead. Iris, go ahead.
Thank you, Caroline. On 2 topics. First,
I love how excited everyone is on Monday. Yes, Raquel, you can go ahead.
On 2 topics. First, tariffs. The president announced last night that any countries aligning themselves with the anti-American policies of BRICS will be charged with an additional 10% tariff.
What's that? Wait, let me go back. What you say?
Everyone is on Monday. Yes, Raquel, you can go ahead.
On 2 topics. First, tariffs. The president announced last night that any countries aligning themselves with the anti-American policies of BRICS will be charged with an additional 10% tariff. Can you tell us more details on that? What specific policies is the president talking about here? What policies should countries stay away from to avoid being subject to additional tariffs?
Hey, if you allied up with our enemies, you get tear the fuck out.
The president feels, generally speaking, that BRICS is seeking to undermine the interests of the United States. It's the president's utmost responsibility to put the interests of the United States first. That's how he views his job as president. So he's going to ensure that America is fairly treated on the world stage, and he'll take any action necessary to prevent countries from taking advantage of the United States and our people. Raquel, go ahead.
Illegal immigrants. Corps Tom Homan told us this morning that ICE will have to arrest 7,000 illegal immigrants every day for the remainder of this administration to just catch the ones that were let in during the last administration. I'm wondering what the new resources and manpower, of course, given by the big
7,000 a week for the 4 years, dude. That's a grip of people, bro. 7,000 damn. Good luck.
bill, which of course opens the door for ICE to hire additional
10,000 agents and officers. What's the administration's expectations now for daily arrest numbers going forward in the upcoming months?
Sure. I'll let the Secretary of Homeland Security and her department speak on what they're looking for in terms of daily numbers. What I can tell you is I receive the daily reports each morning, and ICE is out there doing the jobs that they swore an oath to do, and they are removing public safety threats from our communities every day, and our country is becoming a safer place because of their efforts. And the One Big Beautiful Bill that is now law will give significant resources to ICE and Border Patrol to continue the tremendous work that they are already doing. And I think every American who wants to live in a safe neighborhood should be grateful for their efforts.
Thank you. Thank you.
Raquel, and then I can go to you.
So much.
And then you, Dr. Harper.
Thank you, Caroline. It's a follow-up on the BRICS question. So does President Trump believe that the BRICS are getting stronger or trying to isolate the United States? And how close is he monitoring the summit that is taking place in Brazil right now?
He's closely monitoring it, which is why he put out a statement himself. He does not perceive these countries as growing stronger. He just perceives them as trying to undermine the United States' interests, and that's not okay with him, no matter how strong or weak a country may be. Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Yes.
As promised, yes.
Thank you. Does Trump have a vision for post-war Gaza? You mentioned, talking about now the ceasefire. Does he support permanent or temporary Israeli presence in the Gaza Strip? Does he continue to see a continued role for the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation to continue to operate in the Gaza Strip?
Well, as you know, because we've talked about it before, the president has directed aid to be moved into the region, and that has been taking place.
Bro, they're fighting in that motherfucker. People are gonna get shot for that aid. That's a resource that people want, and IDF and Hamas are going at it just to get it. I think I saw on Twitter a video of like an American mercenary. It's like a hill they're on. It's like a dirt hill, and you just hear pops going on like ba 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 ba, and he goes, "Hell yeah, I got one!" And it's like everybody's thinking that's the little girl that got shot in the chest with the arms. Like obviously everything's out of context, so we don't know. But it's like even mercenaries are out there taking shots, and then one it's crazy.
In the Gaza Strip yelling out "Thank you, Trump" for the aid and for the meals that they have received, because the previous administration never did that for some reason. But this president, again, wants to see peace and stability in the region. So as I outlined previously, he views this part of the region as having a real chance of being peaceful and prosperous. But again, we need to end this war. We need to get all the hostages home, and Hamas needs to accept this proposal in order to do that. Dr. Harper.
I'm Dr. Anthony Harper with the Mount Christian University. Thank you for taking my questions. Given the nature of the Palestinian Authority, when they're paid a slave, teaching Jew hatred to children, corrupt leaders, and no elections for 19 years, who does President Trump support to govern Area A and Area B to prevent Hamas from ruling? And what is President Trump's position on Israeli sovereignty?
Sure. Well, the president believes Israel, of course, has a right to defend itself. As for the first part of your question, you're getting ahead, Dr. Harper. As I told you, the president wants Hamas to accept this proposal right now. He wants to see peace in this region, and he's committed to doing that. Sean.
Hey, Caroline, can you just please walk us through the decision to halt the supply of weapons to Ukraine at a time when Russia is really hitting Ukrainian cities and civilians? Was that the president who decided that, or did the Pentagon do it without his approval?
No, neither of those things are true. I'm happy to walk you through it. This was a standard review by the Pentagon of all weapons and all aid and all support that the United States is providing all countries and all regions around the world, not just Ukraine. When the Secretary of Defense took office, he directed the Pentagon to conduct this review to ensure that everything that's going out the door aligns with America's interests. So it's a pause to review to ensure that everything the Pentagon is pushing out there is in the best interest of our military.
Not the best interest, the best money interest, motherfucker. You pay up, you're getting them weapons, bro.
and our men and women in uniform. Fran.
Two questions on Israel. You suggested that Hamas is the impediment currently to a ceasefire. So if not a ceasefire deal, then what does the president hope to achieve with tonight's dinner with the prime minister?
Again, you guys are getting around to a lot of hypotheticals. I don't want to get ahead of the president, but there are many other issues to discuss with Prime Minister Netanyahu tonight related to the region and just the entire world. So this will be a dinner to talk about Operation Midnight Hammer, which was incredibly successful, to talk about peace in Gaza and ending that conflict, as well as many other topics of discussion in relation to Israel and the United States. Sure, go ahead.
Thank you, Caroline. Given the fact that this is on the trade letters, given the fact that the president put into effect the tariffs on April 2nd and then put the pause into place, is the president at all concerned that these countries that are receiving the letters won't take them seriously because the deadline seems to have shifted already and may shift again?
They will take the letters serious.
I was gonna say, you better take those damn letters seriously, bro. Your whole economy hinges on that letter.
Because they have taken the president seriously, and that's why the president's phone, I can tell you, rings off the hook from world leaders all the time who are begging him to come to a deal. And this administration is working hard to ensure those deals are in the best interest of the American people.
Right. There's definitely some lies in that motherfucking briefing, bro. Some bullshit right there. Yo, Frail just put out a video. Hell yeah, I love these videos. This shit is so unhinged.
What is going on, Gang-a-Lang? We are back after a bit of a break, and we want you folks to settle down, so we decided to make an amazing tier list with the Don in control, because you know I'm the food king. And listen, our voices may sound different because our usual setup is messed up, but Frail told us we had to provide you with content, so you all will just have to put up with this and enjoy our lovely voices either way. Now, the list today is big. Some would even say that it's huge. Some may say that it is the biggest and most important list we've ever done, because today we're talking pizza. And not just any pizza, because I will be ranking the real pizzas today. None of that no-sauce stuff from other countries. And as a matter of fact, I don't want to hear anything about pizza from other countries, because
a no-sauce pizza is nuts. Fuck that.
I want to focus on the best country in the world, and that is the United States of America. See, we have got 6 major contenders for the types of pizzas rated.
I still need to try a Chicago-style pizza with the deep dish. It's like a pie at that point.
My amazing New York-style pizza, all the way down to California-style pizza. I am so excited to give out the true rankings of all these.
Yeah, we're all lucky that I managed to provide us all with extra microphones that I found in the dumpsters that work perfectly fine. But anyways, did you include the Joe-style pizza that I've been begging you to add? The viewers must know about the Joe pizza so that they can make it at home.
Joe, we've been awfully nice to you because you've threatened me and Barack many times. And you're the reason I had to employ extra security, because you insist on adding some random-ass items to our list, and I frankly have had enough of that recently. Let's just have a good old-fashioned list with nothing crazy like some pizza-flavored vape or a Fleshlight that is in the shape of a pizza. And we would want that even less if you want the viewers to make it at home. They'll end up burning their house down.
Okay, but I swear that my Joe pizza isn't gross or dangerous. It might even be delicious and nutritious to some.
I doubt it'll hold any nutritional value, but I won't lie when I say that my interest is piqued, and you may even call me crazy for this, Donald. But I actually want to hear what his Joe pizza is, so go ahead and tell us, Joe.
Why, thank you, Barry. You see, my Joe pizza is one that is made on the streets with the ingredients I have, and to cook this bad boy, you won't need much. You just get some white bread and lay it down on some cardboard or something now. After you flatten it out by punching it, and then you pour a bunch of ketchup on it, and then layer...
This fool's talking about prison food right now. He's making prison pizza, bro.
Bunch of string cheese. Now, if that sounds delicious already, hold your horses, because I haven't even told you what you could add on top or how to cook it. See, I personally like to add tuna straight on top, but if I can't get that, I just like to throw a block of Spam in the middle to make people fight for that deliciousness. Even though I end up winning most of the time, but you can add in other stuff like weeds or dandelions if you like greens, and because they're easy to find on the streets. But yeah, after you get your pizza all planned out and prepped, you then find a car that is unlocked and under the hot-ass summer sun. You leave it in the front dashboard and close all doors so all the heat can soak in, and just cook that bad boy in after like an hour or two. It'll be all done, and there you go, everyone, the Joe pizza.
Yo, that car's gonna be smelling great. Yo, this fucking car
is ready.
You know, it could have been worse. Good for you, Joe.
Yeah, I actually might have not been too opposed to him adding that to the list, considering that for once it wasn't super gross or extremely stupid. And I guess if I were living on the street and was craving pizza, I guess I would try this. But either way, it's too late for that. Well, now that Joe got his dumb comment out of the way, let me tell you something about New York style pizza. Now, this is pizza. This is America in triangle form.
New York style pizza's the shit. I love thin crust pizza. Thin crust New York style pizza is the best.
And New York pizza is the gold standard. You fold it.
I want the toppings, man. I don't want no bread. I want the toppings.
You don't ask questions because you know it'll bang your mouth harder than Johnny Sins. You get it after a night drinking. For lunch, for any occasion, really, because this pizza does it all and deserves
Johnny Sins, the man of many occupations, bro.
an S tier. And if you say otherwise, you're a terrorist.
It's a classic, I agree, but I can already see where this is headed, man. We've done a pizza topping tier list and a pizza chain tier list. I already know why you put this pizza first and Chicago deep dish after, because you really just want to break my soul at the start of the video.
Barry, I would never do that to you. I merely love New York style pizza and haven't even considered what to rank the next entry.
All right, man, I'm going to trust you and hold that to your integrity as an elite eater.
Why, of course, Barry, I know that as an elite eater, I must make my opinion as unbiased as possible. And let me tell you that as an elite eater, Chicago deep dish is ass when compared to other pizza types. See, this isn't pizza.
I still need to try Chicago deep dish.
Because this is a casserole trying to trick you into thinking it's a pizza. Like a femboy who used to be cute in his early years, but now he's just an old decrepit man and is way past his prime that whenever he tries to dress up in girly clothing, you just let out a groan because this pot-bellied man with bald spots is sitting in your living room in a bunny costume trying his hardest to be cute. You realize that it just doesn't cut it anymore. The fact that you need a fork or a spoon to eat some pizza, it's not really pizza at that point. So why the hell are we considering deep dish to even be pizza? And the sauce, why is it on top? What is this, some kind of communist sauce hierarchy? I want to eat pizza, not feel like I'm eating out my wife on her period.
Oh my god, this motherfucker.
I have to give this a damn D tier.
See, I just knew this was going to fucking happen, man. You don't get it. I'm from Chicago, so I know how good it is.
Chirac.
It's a rich, complex dish.
I like how much sauce there is on top, and I sometimes like to play with it and use my fingers.
See, I'm a condiment man, so condiment is my shit. So, like, the sauce sounds amazing to me. More of that. So, I think Chicago dish is going to be right up my alley.
Shovel and slowly scoop out the sauce from my pizza and lick my finger after each scoop.
Yeah, with that Joe comment, I'm really not going to change out my rating now. On to bigger and better things because we actually have a pizza that is worth a damn because you damn we got some Detroit-style pizza and I personally also twerk for this. I think this should show you, Barry, that I am not biased because I am putting this straight into S tier. I really like all types of pizza. It's just that deep dish is hot ass and you need to accept it.
You always have to glaze this entry over and over, and I still don't buy the fact that you were unbiased on the deep dish take.
I personally enjoy the glazing. I always love me some good Detroit-style pizza, and I might even prefer it over New York-style pizza.
Now, Joe, let's not be stupid because there is no need to compare these two because they're both at the top. But we all know that New York style would win either way, but more importantly, let's talk about our next entry because we got California pizza. And let me just get this out of the way.
Kami for you pizza? I never even heard of that, bro.
You all probably expect me to hate on this because it has California in the name, and quite frankly, I do hate it more than usual. But this entry still gets an A tier from the Don because it resembles the crust and the making of a New York style pizza, but...
Oh, I got a call coming up. Hold on. Yo, what's up, Danny?
Joe, what's going on, bro?
Yo, I'm live streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick all at the same time right now. I just figured it out, bro.
Say it again, bro?
I'm on live. I'm like streaming live.
Oh shit! Okay, Joe, my bad, bro.
No. You're good. It's just like I'm learning how to do it all at the same time. So like, yeah, it's pretty sick. I just figured it out right now.
That's legit, bro. What are you streaming, bro? What are you doing?
On Twitch, YouTube, and what was it? Kick, the new one.
That's what's up, bro. How's it going, Joey?
It's going great. I just went over some politics stuff right now. I'm watching this like funny video to kind of like take apart like the seriousness, cause like we were watching about the Epstein file list and the flood. Now we're watching some funny shit. So I'm like, I'm just trying to break it up for myself, really, and for the audience, you know.
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of cool. Joey, begins to give views or what?
Yeah, I got one so far from the homies. So I'm just starting. So that was the first 30 minutes.
Nice. That's pretty cool, bro. Pretty interesting, bro.
Yeah, no, it's so sick. It took me 2 days to figure everything out because I was troubleshooting the computer a lot. So, but I'm having fun with it.
Yeah, Joey, that's cool, man. That's really cool, bro.
Bro, dude, some streamers make 30,000 on Twitch, 200,000 on Kick, and probably like 100,000 on YouTube, all in 1 month, bro.
You just crack that shit, bro.
That's that's what I'm trying to do, bro. I'm just trying to make this my job, bro. That'd be sick. And then go do my music stuff whenever I need to.
Just stay committed, man. Stay focused. Stay consistent with the
Consistency,
every day,
baby.
Every day,
Bro.
You don't gotta be tomorrow or even next year. You can be just over the course of 10 years. You're gonna get beast, become a beast, you know.
Exactly, bro. And I'll be able to do more stuff. Like I'll be able to like function this video a bit better. Like just want to make it better for the audience, you know.
Right now, I was just thinking about that shit because lately I've been kind of keeping track of my finances, bro. You know?
Yeah. How much?
I'm like, bro. I don't fucking know, man. Right now, like so far, bro, Joey. I mean, dude, I'm already like 10 years in the game, dog. Right, bro?
Yeah, right.
That's a lot of years in the game, you know.
That's a lot of haircut.
That's a lot of fucking cuts, you know. And so I'm
Hey,
thinking,
and
like,
you're amazing at them, by the way. Just so you know.
bro, Joey. I was doing the math, man, and like I'm only making like $5,000 a month, bro. It's not a lot. You know?
That's not a lot at all.
It's not a lot, bro. Like what the fuck, bro? You know.
Yeah, these guys are making fucking 200K, 200,000.
If I could just focus my energy and elsewhere, I think haircuts is I mean, it's cool, but like the stepping stone, but it's just not gonna get you where I want to go, you know.
Exactly. If you want to grow financially, yeah, I know what you mean.
The going dog, like it gets more expensive, you know.
It's everything's getting pricier, bro.
So I'm like, yeah, man, I don't know, man.
What's in your head? Tell me what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
I just need to expand and try to do figure something out, bro. You know?
Bro.
Because I'm at the point where I mean, it's like decent living, right? Like we're not or quality life. You know? If I were to travel, right now I'm exchanging time for money, and like that kind of sucks, you know.
Exactly. We're gonna be doing that regardless, no matter what, somehow. But yeah.
I need to figure out something. I need to find out like a structured business where I could put automation in place where I can just I don't gotta be there, you know.
Yeah, like merch and stuff like that, like selling something that you don't have to be like kind of there for. You just kind of put it online, something like that.
Yeah, bro, something, bro, Joey.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, with the streaming, like what I'm gonna, it's a lot of time into it, so it's like the same thing, 10,000 hours, and like you just gotta be in it every day. So because you're like, pretty much like I'm the commodity, right? I'm the person that people want to see or hopefully want to see, and that's what you're building up is that like entertainment value, I guess, and like the community you build around it, like so that's what I'm gonna try to build, but. Everything has its like ups and downs, cons and pros, you know, for a job. I mean, you just gotta think about what you want to do.
For you too, man, it'd be good to get like a numbers, email, all that stuff. You know, all the data is like pretty priceless, right?
Yeah. Just to have like the community, dude. If like everybody in the in the United States gave you $1, just $1, bro, you'd be a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, you don't have nothing crazy, right? Just, even at 1 penny, you'd probably be a billionaire.
Exactly, bro. Dude, when the guy that I watched, his name's Asmongold, he said I made 30,000 last year just on Twitch, and that's low. And I was like, that's low? That's fucking money to me. I need that kind of money, bro. If I could get around there, like, dude, I'm like shooting low, but I need to think bigger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Joey.
Yeah, brother.
That's good, bro.
So I'm gonna be in Temecula on Friday to do a podcast with my boy. I was hoping just to get like just a quick, you know, pretty much the sides, just a quick zip. You know what I'm saying?
I got you doing trip, though. I got you, my dude.
But yeah, I was gonna see if I could line that up somehow. I don't know, figure it out.
Joe, what time you thinking, bro?
I'm gonna get the time from David, and then I'll let you know. Or if you ever come to Hemet anytime this week, I'm down to just.
Yeah, Joey, I'm playing with my boy. I'll probably go see him, bro, you know?
Yeah. If it works out, I know last time it was like 1 a.m. So if it doesn't work out, it's fine.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow. I could probably enter tomorrow, maybe, bro. You know, after work, yeah.
Yeah. That'd be dope. Yeah, tomorrow I'll be here. I'm here all day. I'm just be streaming, bro. So, hey, I didn't get the job with the. Hey, well, it's because they. Remember, I told you I was sick, and then I was coughing in the interview. I felt like an idiot. Like I was like trying to like hold my composure, but then like the AC unit were right underneath it. So like the AC unit's fucking hitting me with air, and I'm just coughing up a storm every time he asks me a question. So I just know it was just bad. I was just like, this sucks. Like I really wanted that job just to like grow, like get some money in. But dude, I was coughing up because I just got over my sickness, But when I met him last week, I was in the thick of my sickness, bro. It was bad.
That's good to do. Yeah, it's get better, man. Stay rest up, my bro.
I'm just trying to rest up and just try to do what I can, and I'm gonna apply to more places, like more bartending places or whatever, and more clothing shops. And I'm actually gonna look at Menifee and see what's popping over there.
Yeah, Joey, there's no sponsor, man. Menifee's pretty cool with them, bro.
Yeah. I'll figure it out.
Hey, Joey, you're trying to work like look up. It's called Nectar.
Nectar?
Nectar.
Okay, I'll check it out. Is that a restaurant? What is that?
No, it's a juice bar.
Juice bar. Okay, yeah.
My homie Andrew is his girlfriend's manager there,
Okay, bet.
I forget her name. That's cool, man. But she was telling me, yeah, man. I guess a lot of the, at this point, they want to get a job, bro.
Yeah.
At this point, I think she's been working like a lot of hours because people will be calling off and shit,
Nectar. Is that in the mall?
No, it's right there outside the mall, bro.
Okay, Nectar. Okay, bet.
No, my bad. So they're kind of by like Trader Joe's kind of right there, bro.
Oh, okay. On the other side of the street, like the other side of yeah. Yeah, I could pop in there and see what it's like.
Yeah, hit her up, man. Go check it out,
Yes, sir.
Talk to the manager, man. She's cool. She's pretty cool,
Drop a resume off.
You could be like, yeah, my boy Daniel threw me under the bus, bro. Because I cut her husband or her boyfriend, sir.
Yeah.
Just drop the bomb at their door. Drop the D-bomb.
The D-bomb, the Daniel bomb. I like that.
No, bro. They know me, bro.
Hey, bro. Hell yeah. They know me there, bro. They'll hook it up.
Yeah, bro. Rustle my fuck up the head, bro.
All right, thank you, bro.
For sure, Joey.
I'll talk to you soon. Let me know if you come through tomorrow.
Yeah, Joe, I'll let you know, man, Joey, for sure, bro. I'll let you know by tonight, okay, bro?
All right, I appreciate that.
All right, man, Joey. God bless you, bro.
All right, God bless.
All right, you too, bro.
Peace. Sorry about that, chat.
California has to take a good idea and just do weird shit with it because that's their thing. See, this type of pizza is bogged down by all the weird and eccentric ingredients that a bunch of hot soccer moms think are healthy, like some goat cheese or even some damn figs on their pizza. They get off on the fact that they can do Papa's Pizzeria.
That's a lot of white women for sure.
Game with their California-style pizza and basically just add whatever the hell they want. And sometimes it works and other times it doesn't. Despite those flaws, it still retains the
It reminds you like a vegan pizza, that just try anything on a piece of bread and call it a pizza, bro. That's a vegan pizza right there.
thin crust. So the Don has to give it somewhat of a pass.
Oh, come on, man. You're going to give this shit a pass, but not the deep dish pizza.
Rock, please stop talking about it. You've spent the majority of this time of this video just throwing your wet panties for deep dish, and listen, we all get it. We all understand that you would die on the cross for some deep dish, but go find a new slant man, because this one is getting worn out.
I've been watching a guy on TikTok use a bunch of dice from Dungeons and Dragons to roll for his pizza. So depending on the roll on an 8-sided die, he would choose between different sauces. And then it went to a 20-sided die for the choice of protein. And let me just say that those videos are very addicting when you're shivering in the cold because it's nighttime and you live in a box. Sometimes I just want to watch a guy eat some weird-ass concoction of a pizza that was decided purely based on luck.
You're going to have to show me that page, Joe, because I follow a dude who does that for soda and sandwiches. But see, Barack, people can change. Joe has not said anything gross or disturbing this video and has been rather tame. This time around, it's you who's moaning and groaning and groaning.
Yeah, this Ambien I stole is really doing the trick for me.
I don't think you should be taking Ambien for fun.
It's like AI generated. This is like AI generated rankings that this dude Frail, his name's Frail, he just makes them. Dude, they're fucking hilarious. They say it's some unhinged shit, bro. It's just funny, bro. I like to watch it after something serious, because it gets me out of my head.
It makes you this tolerable, then I say keep doing it. Either way, up next we got Greek pizza, and before anyone says anything dumb, I want them to know that despite it saying Greek pizza, it was still made here in the States. See, Greek pizza was invented by Konstantinos Kambouzis, a Greek dude from Albania in New London, Connecticut, in 1955. Either way, it's known more for the pan-baked crust, often with a crispy, oily edge, and a spongy, airy interior, and while that sounds good, I am only putting it in C tier because it just feels too oily.
I mean, that's reasonable. It has got some Mediterranean flair. Maybe not for everyone, but I personally...
That sounds fucking disgusting, bro. Hell no. That's not pizza.
enjoy the oil and the pan-baked crust.
Now, I feel like you're just saying that to just go against me, but whatever. Have it your way, Barry. You seem to enjoy the two worst pizzas because our next entry, which is also our last, is St. Louis-style pizza, and this goes straight to B tier. It's a type of pizza known for its thin, crispy, and unleavened crust, a sweet tomato sauce, and provolone cheese, cut into squares. Now, I get that people may not smell the provel on the pizza, but once you give it a try, you end up coming around to it, and I will say that this is possibly even underrated, if anything.
Well, Donald, I do definitely have to agree with you because once people try something, they'll end up coming around to it. Just give it time and an open mind.
I hope we're still talking about pizza here, Joe, but either way, there you have it. Go check out our pizza toppings tier list or pizza shop tier list if you haven't had enough of our pizza madness.
Didn't we do a frozen pizza tier list too? Either way, we have a Hot Pocket and pizza roll tier list, and those are essentially the same thing as normal pizzas.
Rock, they are not simply the same thing. They're more like calzones than pizzas.
Well, isn't a calzone just an inside-out pizza?
Facts.
That literally makes it the same thing, but just made in reverse.
Rock, you're really pissing me off right now. Joe, how much do I have to pay you to trespass and invade Barack's home tonight?
A kiss on the cheek and I'll do it for free, Donald.
I would rather pay you quadruple your original amount than to ever give you a kiss on the cheek.
Fine, but it'll be 5 big ones. I'm talking about the big old Trump coin, baby.
I'll give you some leftover tuna salad, a can of Bush's baked beans, and $3.
Deal, you freaking sucker. I would have gone lower too.
Yeah, everybody in chat, go check out Frail. He's fucking awesome. Frail's president. He pretty much does like AI generated content, so it's pretty sick. Let's see. I'm gonna play a few games on. I wanted to play a few games on Pokemon just to see. Oh, I wanted to see this too. Hold on.
An influx of mostly American so-called digital nomads have moved here to work remotely and also enjoy a cheaper cost of living. Protesters.
Mexico's cartel is telling them people to go back. To go back to their countries. Yo, the cartel's going nuts.
The newcomers have driven up rents beyond the reach of locals.
If they're going to live in a country, they have to contribute to that country. The first and simplest issue is legal migration. They come here with visas or no visas, and still the change in purchasing power generates these problems of gentrification and displacement.
The same shit we're dealing with, bro. The same shit Europe is dealing with. The same shit Mexico's now dealing with, bro.
Because gentrification is just one more step towards colonization, dispossession, and exploitation of our resources. Right now it's about the people, but it won't be long before they run out of oil, water, or lithium in other countries and come and take them from us.
Many Americans in Mexico are able to still receive high salaries in dollars from U.S. companies by working on laptops from their apartments.
Hey, that's gonna be me hopefully one day, bro. Just work off my laptop at home and make a shit ton of money. That's all I want to do. Make a shit ton of money and do whatever I want and work at home, bro. That's the dream.
The government is directing its public policies towards people with higher purchasing power, often illegally displacing local populations who have lived in these neighborhoods for 40, 50, and we have even documented cases of up to 60 years. In 5 years, rents have increased by 47%. This is violent for the local.
Hey, welcome to LA, motherfucker. Yo, LA rent, New York rent, fucking skyrocketed, bro. California rent alone is crazy.
We are debating whether to pay for electricity, water, or food. Of course, we choose to eat.
Some activists blame Mexico's government for encouraging it. However, there's no simple fix. Imposing tougher visa restrictions on Americans could worsen relations with the U.S. Mexican citizens in the U.S. also send billions of dollars in remittances back to their families in Mexico. In a world where travel and communication are faster and easier than ever, these two nations are finding it harder to have neighborly relations. Wilson Dysart, Al Jazeera.
Shout out to Tom Homan. Keep the point ass, because if I don't see how it's messed up that they could come to our country and complain and do all this stuff, but when it comes to their country, it's a problem. That shit is insane to me.
Yeah,
personally.
I mean, so it's almost like it's cool when they do it here, but it's a problem. I mean, it's cool when they do it there, but it's a problem when we do it here. Like, what? It's a little backwards.
This why we have borders. And it's crazy because technically when you hear somebody sound like that in America, they're labeled as Nazis.
Xenophobic. Racist.
So when
Burn the Tesla car. I was kidding. Yo, that was a wild time.
come do it, or Mexicans, it's not a problem. That's crazy to me, bro.
Yeah,
The double standard is crazy, bro.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's very interesting.
I just can't believe what I just heard, man.
They talking about green. They had signs that said, "Hey, gringo. Hey, gringo." This and that. Like, dang.
Come to Mexico and speak Spanish. But if Americans that come to America and speak English.
No, speak American, goddammit.
It's interesting that like people will migrate to a country and not speak the language. Like I saw a video the other day of a woman whose parents went to a hospital and she was mad that the hospital couldn't speak Spanish. Like, why do your parents not speak English? Like, are you kidding?
This is crazy, bro.
That is a problem. That is a problem.
He's speechless, guys. I'm gonna just let the next clip ride. Because I know I say this a lot, but this actually might be the most craziest shit I've ever heard.
No, this is top 10.
Implicaciones de este proceso por el cual las personas originarias de los barrios se ven desplazadas por gente con mayor poder adquisitivo. Es decir, gente que viene de otros países, en su mayoría extranjeros, a querer imponer su cultura, sus precios y...
Yo, I thought that was Bad Bunny. I don't know why. I thought it was Bad Bunny with the clown outfit on. The makeup and everything. It looks pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie.
Desplazar a los mexicanos, a los nativos de estas tierras.
Gringo is like a term that Hispanic people use when you can't speak English.
This is so wild to me, bro. Like, I really can't
I thought gringo was just like for white people in general. But they kind of use it like as for Americans, I guess you can say, but I don't know, it's weird.
I'm watching this with my own two eyes right now, bro.
No, I'm speechless, bro.
Like, this literally to me don't make sense. You know what? Shout out to ICE. You know, I wear an ICE hat. Tom, give me a hat. I'm gonna help the poor motherfuckers at this point if they're doing.
This motherfucker wants a hat. Yo, I would not wear an ice hat, bro. That gets dicey out there.
Okay.
There's no sense behind this, bro.
Yeah. So gringo is a term used for people who are foreigners. It's for people in Latin countries that use to refer to foreigners, and it's for people who are non-Hispanic, and they said it can be neutral, affectionate, or derogatory depending on the tone. Well, obviously they're using it in a derogatory manner.
But they said kill, so they inciting violence.
Yeah, they're basically saying kill the foreigners.
I swear to God, if we
kill the foreigners is wild, bro. And that's cartel people saying that shit too.
This in America right now. The amount of liberals, oh my God, the hate that is out here on these streets.
I'm about to look up gringo, go to your pinche pies. It says, gringo, go to your damn country. Gringo, the foreigner, so foreigner, go to your damn country. Wow.
Shout out to...
Wow.
I kind of want to cry, man. That's how upset I am with this shit.
Man, shout out to Trump, bro.
Like, that's truly how upset I am with this. I actually, like, want to shed a tear behind this shit right here. So the fact... No, bro. I'm just like... It's the fact that they feel like that in Mexico, right?
Oh, we got the hat, bro. That shit's funny.
And then they have Mexicans that come here saying, hey, we want Mexicans to stay here. So you guys want us out of y'all country. Then y'all want to invade our country. and then y'all gonna say we colonizing y'all country for going over there, when we're saying that y'all colonizing our country for coming over here. So it's like almost y'all just want the whole continent to damn near just be full of Mexicans. Y'all want to invade and take over our shit.
You know, it's interesting though. They said their government is favoring the Americans because they have more money and more purchasing power, but our government is favoring the migrants because they can pay them lower and exploit their labor. So it's almost like the roles are flipped because they have
That is interesting. I didn't think about that. Because we want immigrants for cheaper labor, right? Because you can make it a better farming source, whatever. We can make it for cheaper stuff. They want the richer people so that their economy goes up. That is pretty interesting.
Is favoring rich people to come in, buy up stuff, and gentrify it, basically incentivizing richer people to come over there and buy stuff and spend money in Mexico. And our government is incentivizing poor migrants to come here illegally and work and receive subsidies and work for pennies on the dollar. It's like, wow. And now the shoe's on the other foot, and we're watching the adverse effects of a government that doesn't favor its citizens. Because look, they're in the streets tearing shit up. Upset, pissed off, talking about kill these people. We ain't even talking about kill them. We just saying deport them. It's like, wow. Like, it's very interesting how, like, we're watching our...
Well, we're going to kill some with the alligators, right?
Mexican government favor rich people over their, rich foreigners over their own citizen, and our government is favoring poor foreigners over its own citizens.
It's like it's a big experiment.
It is. Quite literally.
Like, y'all treating us like we're experiment projects almost, the government. That's insane.
You know, there's a term for this. This is what the globalists want.
Yeah.
I might be getting down that rabbit hole, y'all.
Yeah.
There's some globalist shit right here, to be honest with you.
Because I just can't believe this shit.
Dang, globalist work? I mean, yeah, NWO is getting taken over. Not the good NWO, the bad NWO. Not Hollywood Hogan, Scott Hall, Reza Ramon, Kevin Nash, Diesel. It's not them, it's the other guys. The assholes that run NATO. Pope. Who else? Bill Gates. The Health Economic Forum.
Just like dumbfounded.
I'm always confused, like, why would y'all destroy y'all city
when it's already a third world country?
Not third world.
Mexico?
It's not third world.
Mexico's not third world?
That shop, you would have went to that shop.
Second world.
Yeah, I said second
world. Okay, yeah, I'm trying.
At worst, but that's third world.
My bad, Mexico.
I'm saying you would go there and shop.
So it's actually this many people out there protesting.
Like, these are like regular stores. Like Mexico City's like damn near.
Shout out Rip and Dip, bro. That shit is gone. That whole fucking store is gone. There's nothing on the walls in that store, bro.
Bro, this is dangerous.
So these people are conservative, almost. You could.
Hey, I know that the clothing shop too, because all the clothing shops get hit. If I were gonna raid something, I'd become the clothing shop too. I'm not gonna lie.
I just think they're just people that are in fear of losing their country to foreigners.
I don't think they're conservative. I think those are liberals that are in Mexico that's doing that.
I won't even say that. I think these are just people defending their home.
Yeah,
it's interesting. Like,
they're protecting their culture.
It's interesting, like, because if Americans show this type of favor for their country and want to fight for their country to not be taken over by foreigners, basically, like they're having, you're racist, but these people are
allowed to.
I'm sure they liberals will call these people patriotic. Foreigner, go home. Like, damn.
Wait, you said who would call these people patriotic?
Liberals. I bet American liberals will say they're patriotic.
These people right here that are telling these people to go home.
Oh, yeah. Because they're fighting for their country.
They're fighting against colonization.
You want to know what's interesting? It's probably,
I don't even know if liberals will cover this.
It's probably liberals, these tech liberals from these rich tech companies that can work remotely that are coming to Mexico and gaming in the system.
That's probably what it is.
It's probably quite literally what they are, because they said they're people that work for companies remotely. I bet and they make a lot of money. It's probably a bunch of tech liberals up there gentrifying shit. Pay taxes, speak Spanish, use pesos, or get out of here.
Wow.
So you think liberals will be on the side of this?
Yes.
I don't know, bro.
Bro, look at the people. Look what they're wearing. This is like LA.
Okay, hold on. Conservatives want people to.
Yeah, it does look like LA right now. I like that sign. Pay taxes, speak Spanish, use pesos. and get out of here. That shit's hard.
Conservatives want border control.
Yes, we care.
This is conservative, basically policy.
I want to say conservative. It's more of a nationalist policy. They're displaying nationalism, right? They're displaying nationalism in their country because they're being exploited.
And hold on, and who likes nationalism in America?
Well, the
conservatives.
Well, yeah.
This is all conservative policies that they're basically fighting for. To me, I don't know why a liberal would be happy with this.
I think these are liberals, bro.
I think liberals would be on
They're
our
destroying.
side.
You think conservatives going to protest and destroy the property?
Well, destroying the property.
Did you see some of these people? They had makeup on, pink hair.
Yeah, we got pink hair right now.
One of them girls was a climate activist. These are freaking liberals,
It's just
dog.
confusing, yeah. These are liberals. They look liberal, but that's what's confusing to me because they look liberal, but they're actually asking for the right policies in their country.
It's interesting.
Yeah, that's like, it's weird because they got conservative values by kicking the foreigners out. So I see what he's saying there. It's like they're liberal to us, but in fact they're conservative in Mexico. That is weird. I didn't even think about that. Now that he's mentioned it, that is interesting, because they're fighting for their land essentially at this point. They want the foreigners out, and they want to be able to keep the cost down, which is what we want as Americans that don't want to pay extra rent. That's interesting. Wow, that's weird.
They got a different perspective than with America.
Facts.
Wow, I'm confused. So actually, the liberals that are fighting here, y'all wouldn't be good over there
at all.
And y'all are.
That's true. If the liberals went over there, they're not welcome. That is interesting.
For them here, y'all wouldn't be okay over there. Y'all wouldn't have be in the same headspace.
You know, that's another thing about liberals too. It's like they're fighting for Iran and all these other nations across the world, but they would treat them like dog shit if they fucking went and visited over there. That's the crazy part.
They actually are what they are over there. That's crazy to me.
Shout out to Donald Trump.
That's crazy. Yeah, man, it's actually like
he knew.
Release the damn list. I ain't giving no one a shout out no more.
He knew. He said, "Yeah, that shit always."
Like liberals are actually fucking stupid over here.
Yeah.
Like we knew it, but seeing this, wow.
Pay taxes, speak Spanish, use pesos, or get out.
Wow. Now, see, that's why I'm upset, because it feels like an invasion. Because I know people that can't get jobs in America because we have a lot of Hispanic people here. So, and now some of these jobs you have to speak Spanish on. So now they're saying you have to speak Spanish in their country, but now we have to, basically conform to them, and we have to speak Spanish to be even allowed on the job in America. And we're racist if we say that. Come on, bro. Is this an experiment or what, guys? Are these people trying to destroy? Who's trying to destroy America? That's how I feel at this point.
Play the protests in LA. Like this shit don't make sense.
We got leaders that just allow this shit, you know?
Shit is crazy, bro. So ass backwards, bro. So who's on the American flag in Mexico? What happened?
Yo, for a second I thought this. Wait, yeah, this is LA. I'm like, yo, this is looking like LA. Now I see it. It is LA. For a second I was confused. I thought it was Mexico for a second.
Yeah, bro. We need some stronger leaders to stop this, bro. Because if they're doing that in their country, and they're coming to our country doing this, and flying their flags, and burning our flags, this is a problem.
Burning them.
This is a problem, bro.
Well, they do have the right to protest, but they're protesting on our Independence Day.
Protesters are calling on President Trump to stop the immigration.
Oh, this is the 4th of July. Okay.
The march remains mostly peaceful. KCAL News reporter Lucelia Caballero is live downtown. Lucelia.
Yeah, I mean, it has been a busy day here in downtown, just across the street from City Hall at this park here, and it is really mellow. I mean, people with with signs, continuing to make their voices heard, marching through the streets. We have what we believe to be about 3 groups in front of the federal building here at the park and behind the federal building. Just a reminder that earlier when we went live, we showed that there were Marines in front of the federal building in uniform with their shield.
American, with my other community members, really just trying to share our voice.
The march started at City Hall and
Shit is
people
crazy
walked
to me,
through downtown for hours, at times of things getting tense.
Shame on you!
In front of the federal building. But always remain.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Protest is kind of fun, bro. When I went with Connie over to the BLM riots, bro, I was just having like it was kind of a good time out there, just fucking mobbing up against the government. Just that alone is always fun to me.
Fireworks, these people are
Not even for the cause sometimes. just to fight something.
to ask tough questions about justice and celebrate in their own way.
We're celebrating community. Like, what is community? And this is what community looks like. For us, it's being cool. For seeing past the lies. And
yeah, bro, I'm honestly enough, bro. We are not extreme enough, guys. We're not extreme enough.
Hey, it's about to get worse. They just gave $150 billion.
Oh yeah, Trump probably busy in that
Trump
video.
doubled down. You know, it's interesting. It's interesting. I like that Trump is not back
150 billion. What? Where'd it go?
onto the mob and the backlash and the upsetness of everybody. And I like that everyone's so flustered. Like all the liberals are so flustered. Like all them days, all that bullshit, hooting and hollering y'all was doing, all that stuff is over with.
Yep.
Now you gotta get off your ass, you gotta get a job, you gotta be sufficient. And that seems to be too much to ask for some people. I'm depressed and I got multiple disabilities, I can't work. Well, you're shit out of luck, buddy. You ain't living off the government no more. All them days over with.
This shit is crazy.
Hey, speaking about living off the government, hey, EBT comes in tomorrow, thank God. Yo, I can't wait to get my salad kits. Hey, I've been trying to get a job too, so fuck everybody.
I'm actually speechless, man.
Also, really think about, all these illegal...
Hey, my protein shake's coming in tomorrow. My coffee is coming in tomorrow. My creamer's coming in tomorrow. My salad kit, chicken, all the good shit, bro. EBT got me tomorrow.
That came across our border illegally is getting healthcare, money, and then they making prices for everything for Americans to go up too.
It's interesting because in the big beautiful bill they finally cut all that off, and liberals are still denying it's happening because the news says it's not happening, and all these other outlets are saying it's not happening. But the news has also been backtracking their statements before Trump got in office and retracting all the lies they tried to spread because it's been fact checked, and they've had to pay multiple lawsuits. Yet people are still going with the narrative that all of these things that these lawmakers are trying to stop is not happening. It's like, at what point do you guys wake up and smell the coffee and look at the facts? Like, people aren't losing people aren't losing SNAP, people aren't losing their Medicaid, people aren't going to be homeless, we're not going to starve, we're going to be fine. Everyone's being ridiculous. But because the news saw...
So from what I understand with the big beautiful bill, or the big ugly bill, depending on which side you're on, the taxes are getting cut most on the top, but it trickles down to the middle class and the lower class. So like the upper middle class is all right, but the lower middle class is in trouble. Like if you're making 100,000 from like I think like 50,000 to 100,000, like you're worse from what I gather. Everybody else is coming up, but that bracket is not.
Some people are going to lose their health care because of this. They're making it seem like everyone's in danger. What's going on here?
Crazy, bro.
It's time for Lefties Losing It.
I love Lefties Losing It. All right, let's go to over here. I wanted to try my BlueStacks, get a couple games in real quick. I wanted to actually just get my my dailies for my Pokemon stuff. Because I need to get my dailies, bro. I need to get them dailies, son. Pokemon. Where's my Pokemon? Or my games. There it is. that booster. Alright, come on, give me something good, give me something good, give me something good, give me something good. Which one feels, oh, this one feels lucky. That one feels lucky. Let's get this one. Come on. Oh, I got something. That's what it is. Hey, Vaporeon full art. I needed that one. I needed that one, gang. I needed that one. Hell yeah. That one looks sick too, bro. Look at that. That's nice. I needed this one. That's a nice Vaporeon. Hell yeah, give me that. Put it in the Pokédex. That was a good pull. That was a good pull. I'm really happy with that pull. Did I get all my gifts? Oh, let's check our Wonder Pick. What we got here? What we got? Ooh, Dragonite. I'm gonna need that. Dragonite. I already got that one. Sylveon. Don't need that. I already got Eevee. I already got Espeon. Alright, I'm going for Dragonite, guys. Alright, so it should be, I think, either the top left or either this one or this one. Top left or top right? Let's see. Alright, let's do it. Top left or top right? This one or this one? This one or this one? Fuck. I'll do this one? No! Oh. I missed it. Damn. It's alright. It's alright. I didn't get it, guys. I'll still give him a cool. Thanks. Let's do a little battle. We got 2 of them. Sweets Relay. Gotta get this. I'll just do it real quick. This little event killer right here. I made this deck just for this event. Should be easy. Easy 2 cards. Let's go, Skamori. Got a cape. Pokeball, baby. Hey, Mama. What's up? Yeah, I just got off with showing Mexico is actually protesting foreigners going into Americans going into their stuff. So it's weird because they look liberal, but they're actually conservative. And I just found that out right now. What? So I just all day. Let me get off something serious real quick. Yeah, it's like a counter protest or something.
I feel like it's still like liberal in the sense that
the same thing, yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah. So why they get like I wasn't planning to go there anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
It's more of like, and it's kind of like you're missing the point. You know.
So what they're saying is that the gringos, the foreigners, are going over, the white people, are going with their tech jobs over to Mexico with their laptops, and then they're making everything raise up in like price, rent, and all the stuff. So that's where they're getting pissed off about. It went up 45% increase in rent.
Oh dang, that's the same thing. I mean, the other thing is too. It's like with Hawaii, you know, like
Yeah, they bought it all up with
the
BlackRock.
locals can't even live there. That's, I mean, and that's America, so it's just like.
And same thing's happened to LA again with the Palisade fire. BlackRock's buying it all up again.
But if you think about it, the opposite is also true. Is like, you know, with the huge immigration into the United States. I'm not saying that I don't appreciate what they do.
Yeah.
But like the amount of jobs went down. So since the deportations, like the employment went up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the unemployment went down. So it's like, it happens everywhere.
Yeah.
That's why everyone needs strong borders.
Yeah.
You know, and you need regulation to see how many people can come in at a time.
Right. So you could like vet them essentially.
Yeah, and I think
make
that
them
all
accounted
countries
for.
should do it.
Yeah.
You know, so.
It was pretty interesting. Like, he was saying that like liberals would be like, they're so brave, they're protecting their lands, and I'm like, what do you think conservatives are doing?
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know what they're gonna say about it. I was like, I don't think liberals have covered that yet. I don't know if they will cover it.
It's interesting because they would have to tackle their own logic.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh, good for them.
But that's
you
I
know?
was saying the same thing with like Muslim countries like Middle East. They're like they'll Palestine, blah blah blah. But if it went over there, they'd be treated like crap.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things too.
Or like gays or trans for Palestine.
Yeah, like they'll throw you off a roof out there, bro.
Yeah.
Like, no, not even like get in trouble for it. They'll
Yeah.
kind of promote it. Like, yeah, you should do that.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, even them, like, I understand if they don't want Americans over there, too, because we don't have the same morals and values and, like, you know, to them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying, like, you should do those things. I'm just saying, like, if you have a certain strict way of thinking, you know, it makes sense to, like, restrict who can come in and disrupt those things.
Mhm.
Because obviously you don't, if someone doesn't agree with the values of that country, they shouldn't really be there, you know?
Mm.
And that's how you become a citizen, too. You're saying, I agree to abide by these, you know, values that you guys hold.
Right.
You
That's
know?
what they're saying. Yeah, if you're gonna be in Mexico, you better learn Spanish and
That's hilarious.
I put. If you're in America, someone said you gotta speak English. I'm like, no, you gotta speak American. Goddamn.
It's funny because, like, you know, with the United States, especially within the past, I don't know, 20 years, maybe 30 years, like our generation, right? We've made so many accommodations for people coming into the country. Like, if you on the phone, it's like, press 1 for this language, and this for this
yeah,
language,
you're right, yeah.
this language. And it's like, it used to be the point where countries around the world would actively learn English so they could conversate with Americans and the West, right?
Yeah.
And now it's like it's like weird, like how much our mindset has changed to where we feel bad
Mm-hmm.
for our own language.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I do want to learn another language. Don't get me wrong. I'm still.
no, I mean,
But yeah.
I get that.
But you're saying like we have to cater to them kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think that the reason why we want to learn the language is that's because it's part of our culture. And our
Yeah, it's part of our heritage and culture.
So, like, as far as, like, you know, some Joe Schmo American guy, I don't expect him
Right.
to
Some
learn.
dude from Nebraska, like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
you're
right.
supposed to learn Spanish. Like, no.
No,
I was
you don't
born
know.
here. I don't have to do that.
Yeah. I get you. Yeah.
I was taking a break because the ball was hurting my back.
Oh, from the school
Just
stuff?
sitting like that for a long time.
How far along did you get on the project?
It's a presentation. I have to
Oh,
do a
okay.
slide and then do a
Oh,
video.
yeah, like the brochure thing?
Yeah, but it's just, I'm talking about diabetes. So I did the main part before I stopped my class.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to like go back and look at what I did and remember.
Yeah.
Other things. So, and then I did the first slide, the second slide, and I think I'm on the third slide. I have to do like, I think 4 more slides.
Oh, 6? That's not bad. 4 slides. So how many slides out of... How did you make so far?
I made 3. Well, they're like basic. Cause
So
like,
3 slides out of 7?
Yeah, the
That's
intro
good.
stuff. And I have like most of the information.
And you have the rest of the week, right?
Yeah, I just don't know when we should try to do Instacart or things like
After your steps are done. Yeah, sounds good. You gonna go take a snack break or
I don't know.
or just take a break?
I just needed to not sit in that position.
I'm like out of water. I got 2. I'm like I need to go, but I also don't want to leave the stream behind. But
Is there anyone on there?
Mike is on. Yeah, but I was gonna get some water in a bit.
Do you want me to get you water?
If you don't mind.
I'll get you 1 cup.
2 cup. Thank you.
No, 1 cup.
Give me the big cup. The big cup. Thank you. Alright, let's get this done. Easy clap. Bro, this card reminds me of like the nutsack on the trucks that you see. You know what I'm saying? The little truck nuts. That shit's funny as fuck. Alright, we got into some new cards. Easy. Told you, easy clap. Hey, easy wins. There, I got one more battle of this one. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I got one more energy for it. Let's get it out of the way. After this, we'll probably watch some more politic commentaries. I want to check out that Epstein list. That's what I want to see next. After this battle. Let's do it. Open up these cards, get my stuff for the dailies, and then we'll go to some politics stuff again. Milton. And then by next turn we'll be able to hit for 90 damage. One shot it. Boom, boom, boom. Easy 3 points. Oh, hell no. Alright, here we go. Skamori. Heal my boy up. Should be all one-shotters from here on out. Oh, motherfucker. Alright. I'll just kill him with this. Pokemon Center lady. Heal that up. Easy win. Alright, here we go. Easy, easy. And for the win. Alright, now we get 2 cards out of this. Let's see what we got. Alright, let's go back up here. Alright, what we got? What we got? Dragon Air. Come on, give me something like that. Give me the good card. Give me the good card. Almost at 3,000. I got 10 more cards till 3,000 after this card. Boo! I shouldn't have done those battles. It's like a waste of my time, bro. Waste of time. Well, let's go back to the politics stuff or whatever we find on. Exit out of BlueStacks. Let's go back to YouTube. Let's see what we got. Oh. Thank you. What'd you make?
The ice cream with the cookies.
Oh, yeah. Nice little snack. Yeah. Oh, Pac-Man just dropped a video. I'm about to watch. Perfect timing.
If you've been seriously injured, your case could be worth millions, and Morgan & Morgan can help you fight for it.
All right, just for those who don't know, I've been watching a lot of conservative already today. This is like a liberal guy, so this is like the other side of the stories.
Your client, they won major verdicts.
I watch both sides and I make my own mind up.
$1 million in Florida, $26 million in Philadelphia. Crushing these lowball insurance company offers. It's free unless you win.
Let's skip this a little bit.
Very clear and definitive statement today. No one is cheering what is happening in Texas with the floods. One of the things that the MAGA right is now latching onto, because they know they're out of arguments. They know that the cuts to the National Weather Service and all of these different cuts that the Trump administration has put in place, they know that on some level it has made the death toll from the flooding worse. But they cannot admit that. And so instead, they are accusing the left of cheering as the death toll tragically goes up. And I can't imagine a more disgusting...
Everything gets politicized. Every disaster, people fucking die. Both sides are blaming each other all the time, bro.
Way.
Instead of just getting the FEMA money to them and helping both parties helping each other out, they just start blaming each other, bro. It's fucking tragic.
To deflect blame for the guy they voted for doing what he said he would do and it having the obvious, predictable impact that it would have. So let's sort of back up a little. I know I'm shot out of a cannon here. As of this moment, the tragedy is believed to have taken more than 100 lives in Texas. Catastrophic.
Shout out to whoever joined on the YouTube chat or YouTube watching. I see 2 watching now. I appreciate that.
As of yesterday morning, 69 were confirmed dead. 11 girls and a counselor from Camp Mystic missing. We now are 24 plus hours on from that. And I'm going to be very frank with you. It's not clear that state officials are at all coordinated or forthcoming about the death toll. Time is going to tell. I am stopped.
So far, from what I've seen, it's 91 confirmed deaths. 23 are which of children. Hopefully the number stays low. It's terrible.
Sort of saying they're straight up lying. I'm sort of leaving some benefit of the doubt and saying it's a chaotic scene in Texas. It may just be that various officials are not coordinated properly on the death toll, and eventually we're going to get the real number, but it is believed to now be over 100.
Fucking A, terrible. Yeah, I mean, that's just confirmed bodies too, so like there's going to be more as they clean up more.
Concerned that many of these deaths were preventable. I'm horrified that the Trump administration appears to have had a hand in aggravating the circumstances in Texas. The staffing shortages at the National Weather Service's San Angelo and San Antonio offices doubled under the Trump administration. In other words, the number of people they are missing to be at full staffing has doubled since Trump became president. The warning coordination meteorologist in San Antonio left after taking an early retirement package that was offered by the Trump administration. This is part of what DOGE did to reduce the federal workforce. We've seen the National Weather Service lose nearly 600 employees, down from about 4,000 to 30,000.
This reminds me of, remember when all the planes were going down and the the flight aviation people were like understaffed or something like that? Same spin.
That's huge. There have been hiring freezes, travel restrictions that make it tougher to replace staff, or even just do the coordination that's necessary with the local officials. And the forecasting offices started cutting overnight operations. They reduced balloon launches to collect weather data, which allow more accurate warnings and weather reports. And of course, emergency planning, not a strong suit for any Trump administration. We saw that during the first one. Employees just being left with less time and fewer resources for emergency planning. And so we now are seeing the effect of that. Now, there are some reporters that are bringing this up, and I'm glad to see that they are. Here is a reporter asking Governor Greg Abbott about the vacancies at the Kerr County, related to Kerr County Weather Service. And could that have impacted what happened here? You know, Greg Abbott doesn't really want to hear it.
You talked, as you just said, kind of about expertise and about just knowing the area, and that extends also to the National Weather Service folks who are in those offices and have years and years of experience. There are currently 6 vacancies in the local, National Weather Service office that cover Kerr County. What is your perspective on how that could have impacted the warnings that you all were able to get and how accurate the information you all were able to get?
So I know nothing about the staffing. What I do know is
doesn't have a clue, folks.
What they put out, and it's my understanding that what they put out was kind of the information that the state was.
All that water, bro, that's crazy. 2 hours. 2 hours and 20 feet.
Off of it, that is that there were alerts or warnings about heavy rain, potential for flash flooding in certain areas. A problem with that is that to most people in the area, flash flooding would mean one thing, not what it turned out to be, because they deal with flash floods all the time.
So Greg Abbott's argument is completely unpredictable. They get these flash flood warnings all the time. They're sort of desensitized, has nothing to do with the staffing whatsoever. As the death toll continued to rise over the weekend, the Kerrville city manager refused to answer questions as to the same topic.
Question. Yeah, well, one of the questions that still hasn't been answered 3 days into this is despite CEM's warning on July 2nd, July 3rd, that something like this could have happened, that the threat existed, why that information didn't get down to Kansas and why they weren't evacuated. Can you answer that now?
That is a great question, but again, we want to make sure that we continue to focus. We still have 11 missing children that we want to get reunited with our families. Until we can get reunited with with the families, we are not going to stop. We are not going to stop until we do. So, thank you.
He wanted to get the fuck out of there so fast.
Sure, there are families who deserve better than that.
And off he goes. You know, the theme here is what? The theme is that big, tough strong, burly, independent, rely on nobody Texas seems completely unable to handle storms, to handle floods, to handle school shootings.
I'm just plugging in my other computer because it's dying, and I want to make sure I can see chat on the screen for YouTube.
Handle immigration, to handle power outages. That's the theme here. Now, MAGA Mike Johnson, Congressman and Speaker of the House, he said he knows what we need in times like these, and it requires you to get down on your knees and pray. That's the idea from MAGA Mike.
And federal resources have just poured into that area. Is there anything more that can be done congressionally, legislatively to help these folks?
In a moment like this, we feel just as helpless as everyone else does. I've talked to my colleagues there in Texas, Chip Roy and August Pfluger, whose families, that's Chip's district. August's daughters were at the camp. We also had Buddy Carter of Georgia, had grandchildren there. It touches so many families, and all we know to do at this moment is pray. Every available resource has been deployed. The president, of course, is dialed in and watching this develop moment by moment as we are, and we'll handle supplemental funding requests as they come in, but right now they're still trying to do rescue and recovery, and our hearts go out to all of them.
Our hearts go out. We must pray, and everybody's doing everything right if they have an R next.
Honestly, bro, the praying stuff like that is just so messed up. I lost a viewer on YouTube. No. Should have been more engaging.
Name. And then finally, the orange man himself, Donald Trump. It's terrible, he says. It's terrible, but we don't know how many died. What? Some young people? Trump as confused as ever.
I'm calling it terrible as much. It's shocking. They don't know the answer yet as to how many people, but it looks like some young people have died. Oh yeah, we'll take care of it. We're working with the governor.
We're now working with the governor to help them with an event that was no doubt worse due to me coming in with my ex-buddy Elon Musk and just slashing, offering people early retirement and getting people the hell out. Now, none of this comes as a shock. Here's a report from May 27th. Officials scrambling to fill National Weather Service roles. This did not creep up on us unexpectedly.
Days out from what's forecast to be an above normal hurricane season, scientists across the country are sounding the alarm over critical staffing shortages. Inside the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, officials are scrambling to fill more than 150 critical National Weather Service roles left vacant after sweeping cuts from the Trump administration.
Hey, hire me, bro. I need a job.
The service has lost 600 of its 4,000 employees since January. 5 former NWS directors calling it their worst nightmare in an open letter earlier this month, predicting understaffing could lead to needless loss of life.
And that is exactly what happened. So listen, many charities and groups are saying that they're helping. I can't possibly get every single one, so I think a reasonable thing, a central clearinghouse of sorts, if you need help or you are looking to help, 800 Red Cross. That's 800-733-2767. They can direct you if you need help or if you are looking to help. I think that that's as reasonable a place to start as ever. I don't think they have any idea what the word exponential means. Sometimes our political discussions are about principles or ethics or morals or political philosophy. Sometimes it's just people really confused about simple math. When we are talking about the growth that we are or are not to expect from the big, beautiful bill that was passed by the House, Senate, and signed into law last week by President Donald Trump, one of the words I keep hearing is, we're going to have exponential growth. And yet, here is Congressman Jason Smith. I don't think they have any damn idea what the word exponential even means.
We need to do more. The tax provisions that we put into this piece of legislation will create exponential growth. The Congressional Budget Office, Jason, scored growth at 1.8%. Growth over the last 50 years on average has been 2.7 to 2.8. I guarantee you, Jason, you're hearing it today. I guarantee you that our growth rate will be above 3%. And if our growth rate is above 3%, this bill will actually cut the deficit by $600 billion.
Okay. You know, the funniest thing about these predictions, right? GDP growth.
What's up?
My dad just called me, and I was wondering why he went to the French Valley Library.
Yeah.
I was like, French Valley? That's not even close to where she's at.
Yeah.
Right? And then he asked for the address a little bit ago, and where Rachel is at.
Yeah.
And then I sent it to him, and he's like, I'm over here. Is it not on this street? And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I drop her off in the front, and then you drive around to the back.
Oh, you talking about the Temecula?
I'm like, Springs?
Dang.
He's like, yeah, Springs. I'm like, no, that's her regular school.
Dang, he went to Springs?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. That's like across town, no?
He's like 20 to 25 minutes away from. But thankfully.
Good thing he left early. I'm like, yo.
Oh my god.
Our baby's stuck out there. No, I was kidding. Dang. So is he gonna be there in time?
Yeah, because it's pretty early still.
And then did he get the seat to Jarrett?
Yeah, he already did.
Oh, so Jarrett picked the
around
kids?
3.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad they
I
got.
was so confused just now.
Dang, I'm so glad he left early. Is he still gonna pick up the celery on the way back, or what's going on?
I don't know.
And mozzarella, because we don't have no dinner if we don't have that stuff.
I'll call him.
Okay.
I don't know what his plan is, because Rachel might be really tired.
Right. So, okay, drop her off, then go to the store?
Maybe.
Okay.
Because the only thing I think of is he gets her food, and then they go to the store, but I don't know.
Okay. Well, that's good that he went early.
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
Year was 2.8%. Jason Smith is promising this bill is going to get us above 3%. So exponential GDP growth.
What's up, Lauren Mile? How you doing today? What up? We're just watching some. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. I just started this today. I got everything set up. Now I'm streaming on 3 different platforms, which is Kick, the one you're on, YouTube, and Twitch. So it's pretty cool. I'm just watching some. I was on some conservative news. Now I'm on some liberal news. We're just kind of comparing the two together.
According to Jason Smith, is going from 2.8% to 3%.
Hey, shout out Lauren Mile.
Exponent.
The beautiful Lauren Mile. Of course, no problem. What you doing today? Any work today or anything like that?
Growth happens when a quantity increases by a
California, baby. I'm from California right now. We might be moving to Idaho, so we'll see.
Percentage or proportion over time intervals. So the idea here is compounding. Each period.
Hey, where's Lauren Mile from?
Growth builds on the previous period. So let me give you a really simple example.
Hey, shout out Texas. I pray for Texas. I know you guys are going through some wild stuff right now. We're actually looking through the flood on this video. And then also, I heard there's gunfire with authorities out there. Like, dude, Texas is wild right now. I do play games. I play Pokemon Pocket on here, and then I play Diablo Immortal and also Heroes of the Storm. I plan on expanding my games, but right now the setup is so new, so I'm just kind of getting used to it.
You invest $1,000.
What games do you play?
And you're getting a 5% annual return compounded yearly. So the first year, that 5% growth on the $1,000 is $50. You've now got $1,050. But the second year, the 5% growth is now on the 1050. So the second year, instead of making $50, you're now making $52.50. And then the third year, that 5% is $57.63, and so on, right? Instead of growth by $50 a year.
Oh, you got the good games. CSGO, GTA, and Forza. Horizon, yo, yeah, those are all good games. I have the Xbox that I can later on try to connect the stream to. I don't know how to do it yet because I just barely got this set up today. Are you a daily streamer on Kick? That's what I'm planning on doing. This is my first day streaming. So you really caught me on my first day ever streaming on Kick. So yeah, I plan on doing this from here on out for a while. I want to do it for the rest of my life. We'll see where it takes us. This is my first one. I hope you like the stream so far.
It grows faster and faster. That's exponential growth. Now, what Jason Smith is talking about here is that our GDP growth rate will be growing exponentially. Now, could 3% instead of 2%?
I hope you follow, and we're here tomorrow as well. Like, right now, this is my job, I guess, because I don't have a job right now, so I'm just trying to do this.
8% be part of exponential growth if it's applied.
Let me tell you, Lauren, I went to an interview, and I just got over a sickness. I was coughing up a storm in that interview. I felt so bad. And yeah, I just blew the interview, so I just totally didn't make it. What do you do for a living? So I'm an artist. I do music. For a living, I was bartending. There's no opportunity right now that I can see. I also used to do coffee, like work for Starbucks. But right now, I just make music and I go do this on YouTube and play video games. I don't have a job right now, so this is my job right now.
Consistently over time, yes, it could. But
I'm trying to make that streamer money. That's the dream right now.
Two similar percentages, 3% and 2.8%.
I love driving cars, and I love you know what I like? I love Jeeps. A top-down Jeep, topless Jeep, with blasting the music with the suspension. Bro, the best ride of my life in LA. It was awesome. Playing ASAP Ferg with the top-down convertible. Bro, it's nothing like it.
By itself is not exponential growth.
Lauren, what's your favorite car?
Something grows at 3% every year, that's one thing. If something grows at 2.8% every year, that's another thing. And the growth of the principal could indeed be exponential. But the difference between 3% and 2.8%, that's just a linear difference. It's a 0.2...
Say it with your chest, Lauren.
Percentage point difference. That gap is not exponential unless the gap itself keeps growing, right? So if 1 year you go from 2.8 to 3% growth, and then the next year you go from 3 to 3.3, and then you go to 3.63, and then 3.99, that would be GDP growth increasing by 10%. That would be exponential. It's not possible, okay? In a country that is already developed and at the size and maturity of the American economy, it's just not really possible. These are just dumb people. And so sometimes we get into a philosophical debate. What is the responsibility of the individual versus the government? We get into a philosophical debate. When does life begin as relevant?
I agree it does. I need a little bit more spaz. But again, this is my first day streaming, so I'm like just getting the barrels, the wheelbarrow down the hill. But yes, it is kind of much default.
Abortion law.
The hardest part was the overlay, getting my face on the picture with the video behind it. That was like really hard for me to do.
This is just...
But I am proud of myself.
They know what they're talking about. I don't think they know what exponential even means. And Jason Smith is really proving that here. They don't know what is going on. Let's take a very quick break. We'll be back right after this. If you've been seriously injured...
We skip ads over here, I'm not going to lie.
Or find out you can... Or just these does take... One of our sponsors, too, did to high quality. CB Distillery has... They even clean and satisfy botanists and rigorously tested, no artificial additives, just quality U.S. grown hemp. And for a limited time, my audience can get 25% off your entire purchase. Visit CB
Yeah, go ahead and send it on Discord. Honestly, I'm broke right now, so until I get a job or this actually starts paying me, then I'll be able to pay you. But right now, baby, we waited for Amazon Prime. I'm waiting for EBT to hit my bank account tomorrow. So, yeah, we on that low funds right now, but we get it. Yo, Ariana Davis, what's Gucci on Twitch? I appreciate you. What's going on at the Twitch, Ariana Davis? I appreciate you.
.com. And
right now, I'm just talking to people on Kick, but I see you talking up. I'm just watching some liberal news. I was watching some conservative news earlier, and I'm just kind of comparing the two and making a assessment for myself. Really, I'm low key a centrist, though.
Promo code PACMAN. That's cbdistillery.com. Promo code PACMAN. The link is in the description. Specific product availability depends on individual state regulations. Something here.
Okay.
The show is an audience-supported program. We're building something here. This is a pro-democracy movement. This is a movement that is made to recognize that some of the basics that the founding fathers and everyone who won.
Hey, I appreciate you, Lauren. Yeah, send your art right away. I'll see what I could do. Honestly, I always like to collab anyways. I might use you for music stuff instead of Twitch stuff. I don't know. We'll see what's going on. Yeah, send it to my Discord. That'd be great. Thank you.
Stands separation of church and state and how modern.
Ariana Davis, where are you from? Are you in Cali too, or are you in California? I have somebody from Texas over here, so I just want to see where Ariana Davis is from. Shout out to Twitch chat.
Societies are best meant to function is building in order to try to preserve that. Unfortunately, right now, there are voices and movements that say we don't really care about democracy. We don't really care about the rule of law. We don't really care about law and order or due process or any of those things. We are part of a movement that does care. And
yeah, you sent me the request. I'll definitely accept it. I have everything used up right now, so I can't really go on Discord at the moment. But once the stream is done, I'm going to go ahead and accept the request, and I'll go ahead and check out the art farm. I have actually my phone that I use for Discord is actually the one that I talk to you on Kick. So I have a lot of screens in front of me right now, all on different chats and different platforms right now, just to keep up with everybody.
Whether it's this show or another show, I would love for you to support the work that we do. The two best ways: get a membership at joinpacman.com or get a Substack premium membership at free. Going to submit your email address. People email to David. Substack gives away.
Come on, hurry up, get to the good stuff.
It always ends like this. You put two massive egos together, circling each other, and very often one will end up snapping.
I think he's talking about Elon and Trump. Okay.
Musk and Donald Trump were never built to coexist.
Mike Lauren 92900. Got it. I got you, bro. I'll make sure to add that.
For a while, it kind of worked because Trump loved being flattered by Elon, and he loved getting $250 million from Elon. And Elon liked being in the cabinet meetings, and he liked being at Mar-a-Lago, and he liked being on Air Force One. But billionaires don't often stay sidekicks for long when they are this egomaniacal. And Elon Musk is now going full scorched earth. Over the weekend, he dropped the news that he is launching a new political party. Not a think tank, not a PAC.
This is going to be interesting because he has the money to back up this party. And if it looks good, I mean, I know usually third parties never go well, like the Green Tea Party and whatever other party. But Elon has money and influence. So we'll see.
But a political party. It is called the America Party.
I can't, can you accept right now, please? I'd have to kick everything off the chat. Maybe I can right now. Let me try it out.
And the timing couldn't be more of a shot across the bow at Trump, at MAGA, and at Republicans. A day after Trump signs this tax and spend bill that Musk said is insane and it'll bankrupt the country, Elon takes to X and he puts out a nasty excretion where he says, quote, by a factor of 2 to 1, you want a new political party and you shall have it. When it comes to bankrupting our country with waste and graft, we live in a one-party system, not a democracy. Today, the America Party is formed to give you back your freedom. Trump called the bill big and beautiful. Elon called it insane, and now he's starting his own political party. Now, Musk says he's going to be spending real amounts of his own money to go after lawmakers who backed the tax bill.
Mike, I don't see the requests. Again, I'm not the most familiar with Discord, but I'm definitely gonna add you as soon as I'm done with it, and I can actually look at it more, because I'm trying to pay attention to two different things. But I'll pay attention to the video, and then once it's over, we'll figure that out. But yes, I will accept you, bro. No problem.
Is Republicans. That means Trump's Republicans. So Elon is really aiming at Trump's base here. He's aiming at Republican districts. He's aiming at the Republican grip on Congress. Now, the internet is treating this sort of like a meme, but this is really far beyond online drama. This is to a degree real world power that is trying to rip the Republican Party in half. Now, here's the interesting thing about it.
Which I do think we do need to get rid of the Democrats and the MAGA Republic. Like, those two party systems are pretty fucked up right now. So, if we get a third one in there to challenge these other two, that'd be great. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of for it with Elon. I know there's a lot of bad rap about him, but bro, if we get another party in there that could kick butt, why not?
I agree this could work. Not because people like Elon, especially on the left, people don't like Elon. The left-wing support of Elon, that ship sailed a while ago. Progressives bailed when he started tweeting like a Reddit mod on a ketamine bender. But MAGA voters, some of them still see Elon as a sort of renegade, a disruptor, a guy who knows how to get things done. And if even
But this is the thing about liberals, like, once you're off the ship, you're off the ship. They'll, like, push you off the ship. And that's different between the right, conservative people. We argue amongst ourselves, so there's some room to give on that side. So I kind of get that.
% of the Republican Party peels off and follows Elon into this half-baked revolution, that's potentially enough to blow a hole in Donald Trump's coalition. Now, the catch, and here's a big one, is that Elon is kind of flaky, you know? Trump and Elon, to a degree, both start stuff and abandon it constantly. And when it comes to Elon Musk, you know, he...
Shout out to Trump coin. Where'd that shit go? The Trump shoes. The Trump phone's next, y'all.
His ideas like they're fireworks. Most of them fizzle out in midair. He's offloaded the government stuff. He's fighting with his own investors. 3 years is a long time for a guy who treats attention like oxygen. So Elon's talking big, but I don't know if he's really going to follow through. Is he going to go out there and recruit candidates and fund their campaigns? Is he going to put boots on the ground in swing districts or in swing states? Will he back someone for president in 2028? Because that's another aspect of this. If Elon starts the America Party, but he doesn't actually back someone for president in 2028, if he only, you know, throws a little money at congressional races but stays out of the presidential race, this is likely not going to be game-changing. And I know a lot of you know how this stuff works. If he doesn't turn heads quickly, he'll move on to something else. He'll go back to the Mars stuff or...
Yeah, the attention span needs to be quick with this party if it's going to happen.
AI, human-pig hybrid that nobody asked for, who the hell knows what. But you've got a lot of Republicans watching this with sort of tight jaws. They're hoping Elon forgets about it. They're hoping that Elon moves on. But if Elon is serious about this, it could be a real problem for Republicans. Otherwise, it'll just be part of the sideshow. Another temporary freakout, a momentary fracture that eventually heals. But even if Elon's new America Party flames out, he could be planting relevant seeds here. And the most important sign that this has real potential is that Donald Trump is furious about it. That tells you everything you need to know. Donald Trump took to Truth Social and also attacked Elon Musk during a brief press conference.
Yo, these two going at it is hilarious. Elon Musk and Trump tweeting at each other. It's fucking funny, bro. They're like besties, now they're like breaking up. It's like when me and my homies fight, we're just talking shit to each other.
Because Elon Musk is starting a new party. Elon is going scorched earth, so Trump is going scorched earth. Here's what Trump posted to Truth Social, quote, "I am saddened to watch Elon Musk go completely off the rails, essentially becoming a train wreck over the past 5 weeks. He even wants to start a third political party, despite the fact that they have never succeeded in the United States. The system seems not designed for them. The one thing third parties are good for is the creation of complete and total disruption and chaos. And we have enough of that with the radical left Democrats who have lost their confidence and their minds. Republicans, on the other hand, are a smooth-running machine that just passed the biggest bill of its kind in the history of our country.
It's not the smoothest machine, but yeah.
It is a great bill, but unfortunately for Elon, it eliminates the ridiculous electric vehicle mandate, which would have forced everyone to buy an electric car in a short period of time. I have been strongly opposed to that from...
Excuse me, y'all, I'm still sick. It's coughing up a lungs though.
...very beginning. People are now allowed to buy whatever they want. Gasoline-powered, hybrids, which are doing very well, or new technologies as they come about. No more EV mandate. I have campaigned on this for 2 years. And quite honestly, when Elon gave me his total and unquestioned endorsement, I asked him whether or not he knew that I was going to terminate the EV mandate. It was in every speech I made and in every conversation I had. He said he had no problems with that. I was very surprised. Additionally, Elon asked that one of his close friends run NASA. And while I thought his friend was very good, I was surprised to learn that he was a blue-blooded Democrat who had never contributed to a Republican before. Elon probably was also... I also thought it inappropriate that a very close friend of Elon who was in the space business run NASA when NASA is such a big part of Elon's corporate life. My number one charge is to protect the American public. All right, so then Trump was asked in New Jersey before getting on a plane, after getting off, who the hell knows. Trump says it's all ridiculous what Elon Musk is doing.
Starting a third party. I think it's ridiculous to start a third party. We have a tremendous success with the Republican Party. The Democrats have lost their way, but it's always been a two-party system. And I think starting a third party just adds to confusion.
I mean, third party definitely throws a wrench, but I mean, you're gonna have to. This is 250 years, all right, of a two-party system. A third one coming in, it's super unlikely, but it's nice to try.
It really seems to have been developed for two parties. Third parties have never worked. So he can have fun with it, but I think it's ridiculous.
You know, the truth is that the United States was really founded in a multi-party environment. That is what we had at the beginning. Trump's claim that the founders wanted a fixed two-party structure. Very much not.
Did he say that? I don't think he said that. I think he just said it's always been. But, like, it's been for a long time is what he means, but yeah.
Oh. And while I don't support what Elon Musk is doing from the standpoint of what he wants the party to be, of course I support something that creates a crack in the Republican Party, but I also have to stick to the truth. And the truth is that the current duopoly that we have was very much not what the Founding Fathers intended. Trump is triggered. He knows it could be very bad for his legacy. We'll see how it shakes out in the midterms. Donald Trump delivered a disastrous 4th of July speech, and even Melania Trump noticed that Donald Trump was completely confused and disoriented.
There was a weird timing issue on the 4th of July thing. I think they were trying to get the stealth bomber to go over and then him talk about it, but then there was like mistimed or something like that. So like their timestamps on what they were going to try to do next was kind of weird because they were standing there for a minute and it was kind of weird.
Here, making stuff up. You watch Melania, you realize...
I'm going to take a piss real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, y'all. Sorry about that. Had to take a piss. Alright, let's get back to it.
Realizes it very clearly. Here is Trump talking about Social Security, saying something is in the bill that is simply not in the bill. Listen to this. Watch Melania.
Our country is going to be a rocket ship economically, and we've delivered no tax on tips to be a rocket ship economically, and we've delivered no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. And that's why when you hear things like that, this is the most it's the biggest bill.
Wait, what was so confused about? No tax on Social Security? That was the weird part? I don't know.
Of its kind ever done by far.
That is not in the bill. No tax on Social Security is not in the bill. And I think even people in the crowd knew it, because you had people in the crowd who were sort of like related to what's going on, although you had random people in the crowd as well. Trump disoriented and confused? Is he lying? Hard to tell with Donald Trump. Trump went on a bizarre road.
I know there's no tips, no tax on tips. That's like the main one. I guess you're right about the Social Security one. I don't know. I'm not that old yet, so I don't know.
Salad. It's like a chop. It's been chopped up beyond recognition into mush, talking about wind and getting it very, very wrong.
China's right now building 68 coal generating plants, and we're putting up wind. It doesn't work, I will tell you. Aside from ruining our fields and our valleys and killing all the birds and being very weak and very expensive, all made in China. I noticed something, that with all of the windmills that China sends us, well, we waste our money because it's the most expensive energy. I see that, they make about 95% of them, the wind turbines. I have never seen a wind farm in China. Why is that? Somebody check that out. Tom Emmer, would you please check that out?
Hey, yo, Pac-Man's face is wild right here. But I was going to say, my grandpa worked on the wind turbine fields in Palm Springs. And when you went into Palm Springs, my grandpa actually worked on those turbines. And he said, whichever ones aren't working, his brother worked on it. But yeah, shout out to my grandpa, the late great Ernesto.
You know the reality? This is just the facts. This is not, China's good, China's bad. China is the global leader in wind energy. China has the largest capacity of wind power worldwide. They have it onshore and they have it offshore. Trump is disoriented and Trump is confused. And maybe if he knew that China was the leader in wind, he all of a sudden would want to do it, because he seems enamored by what any authoritarian strongman does. And then Trump brazenly lying about the popularity of the bill. This is one of the least popular bills that has been signed into law. Really makes you wonder, why aren't our elected officials doing what the voters want them to do?
And just say what it is, because it's the most popular.
We need about a year to see how this bill actually pans out, if it's good or bad, so we'll see.
Bill ever signed in the history of our country, whether you're military or anybody else. This is the most popular bill ever signed.
I am actually unsure of any major bill that was less popular than this. As I always tell you, unlike the cult leaders and the authoritarians and the right-wing media, I'm not telling you to believe it because I said it. Go verify it. Look at the polling on this big, beautiful bill. Trump making it all up about wind energy, about no taxes on Social Security, about the popularity of the bill. Melania knows it. Oh no, he's ranting again. He's ranting again. And she can do nothing to stop Trump. We'll have more about this specific issue and this bill on today's bonus show. Sign up at joinpacman.com. I don't want you to miss it. The David Pakman Show is an audience-supported program, and the best, most direct way to support the show is by becoming a member at JoinPAC.
Hey, what y'all think about the big beautiful bill? Y'all think it's gonna be good? Hey, I mean, okay, this is what's happening from what I know. The upper class get a huge tax break, all the way down to the middle class, and then this middle lower class, they get nothing from what I understand, and the lower class, it gets some stuff too. So like the middle class gets left out.
.com. You'll get the daily bonus show, the daily commercial free show, and
let's pass the ad. Come on, get to the good stuff, brother.
Where did this all start?
Where's that?
And be case or mid in a narcissistic. This is the kind of story, and he now has a total catastrophe on his hands. This is the kind of story that Donald Trump thought that he was done with, the kind that lands on his desk mid-scandal, mid-rally, in a narcissistic monologue and throws everything off course. Because right now, measles is back.
Measles? What? Measles is back? Yo, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, yo, get the fuck out of here, bro.
It's not a few cases back. It is not.
They say that when measles would come around, they'd get all the kids together and make them play with that one kid so they get the immunity. So I don't know how serious measles is nowadays, but
background noise back. We're talking record-breaking, deadly outbreak, and the
Where is the measles outbreak in the country? Where is this going on? I know there's like some flesh-eating parasite that's spreading in southern South America, like under Mexico. I know there's something going on there that's pretty deadly. So we'll see what happens with measles.
Blame is heading right for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. when he can take a break from gargle.
Oh, shout out to the person watching on YouTube. I see you watching. I appreciate you.
With methylene blue and bathing in beef tallow, his Secretary of Health and Human Services is now dealing with more than 1,200 confirmed cases of measles this year. More than 1,200 confirmed cases of measles this year. More than in any year since the disease was declared eliminated 25 years ago. It's only July, and these are the worst single-year numbers.
Where are they getting the? Where is it outbreaking at though? Which state?
25 years. Kids are dying. Adults too. Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and just about everybody is unvaccinated.
I am not moving to those places. Hold on, I just got a text. Sorry about that. I'll try the product. Okay, my bad. They're talking. All right, back.
Where did this all start? It started in Texas. 1 in 4 kindergartners there didn't get their measles shot this year, and that is ground zero, and RFK helped to build it. I have a friend.
Damn, Texas is going through it, brother. So Texas got shooters, they got flood going on, and they got measles going on. Bro, Texas is fucked right now, bro. They're getting cooked.
Who works in a pediatric ER. Now, I'm not even going to say where, because this stuff is still, fortunately, sort of, although not really, sort of rare enough that I don't want them to be identified. My friend who works in the ER said there are measles cases coming in, and parents are lying about whether their kid is vaccinated. And eventually they have conversations where they say, you know, we're thinking this is measles, but are you sure that your child is vaccinated? And they go, oh, you meant the measles vaccine. No, I'm not. Almost exclusively unvaccinated, and they are bringing it back. Now we have RFK at the helm of the Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services.
Not gonna lie, I'd be lying like a motherfucker too. What do you mean by vaccinated?
Decades spreading anti-vaccine junk science, linking vaccination, specifically to measles, MMR vaccine, to autism, a completely disproven link connected to a disbarred, now unlicensed, then disbarred's not the right word, a doctor who's had his license revoked, Andrew Wakefield. And this is where we...
I still think they're kind of linked, low-key.
Ourselves, right? Congratulations.
I think the autism and vaccinations are still connected somehow. I don't believe that they're not connected, but you know, who am I?
We have a deadly outbreak. We've got kids in ICUs. We've got international warnings issued. Mexico has said to travelers, avoid the U.S. There's a health risk of measles there. Wrap your head around that. And the kicker is that RFK tried to flip the script a few months ago. Years of paranoia and pseudoscience, and he suddenly sort of like endorsed vaccines in April, but not really. You know, it was half-hearted. And then more recently, he goes further, and they fire the federal panel of vaccine experts that have advised presidents. No,
Can't say no if there's nobody there to say no, right?
no replacement plan, just gone. Public health leaders are stunned. The American Medical Association says this is dangerous. Well, they were right. And if you remove expertise, replace it with ego, confusion, and conspiracies, and you shake it together, what comes out is a rising death count from a preventable disease, collapsing herd immunity, and a measles outbreak that has now hit 38 states. I don't think Trump's inner circle saw this coming. They thought, let's appoint RFK Jr., we'll keep the fringe sort of happy, the anti-vax crowd gets a bone.
I'm like, do we get that vaccination where it has the probability of killing you, or do we get a chance with the measles where that takes a chance of killing you? Like, which one do you want to? I mean, which one are you? Which risk are you willing to take more, bro? 1,200 cases. How many people get hurt with the vaccinations? You know, like, there's a lot of side effects that go on like this. So it's like, which one are you gonna choose?
They can, let them play bureaucrat, then we move on. But now we've got a crisis. And the political reality is that Trump owns it too. There's no Fauci to blame this time around. It's Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And the political reality is there's no deep state to scapegoat here. He installed RFK, elevated the anti-vax movement to the White House, and now, as we're getting ready to go into another election cycle next year, he's got a national outbreak tied directly to his brand. More than a public health issue. This is now a political liability. And you've got independents, you've got suburban parents, you've got grandparents, you've got conservatives even to a degree. They want their kids safe. They don't want to be spinning medical roulette every time you step into a kindergarten or a emergency room because a conspiracy theorist got a job in the cabinet. So Trump's boxed in. If he fires RFK, he's going to admit implicitly that this was a terrible idea. He'll piss off the anti-vax right, which could be a problem. If you keep RFK, you're going to keep getting hammered for every measles death that hits the news. So it's lose-lose. It came out of nowhere or it didn't. Well, not really. This was really a result of what Trump did. So this is now a full-on catastrophe. Trump has walked into it. It's Trump's fault. It's RFK's fault. I still don't want anybody to die. I don't want kids in ICUs. So hopefully someone figures out a way.
You know what they need to do is lift the ban of suing the companies that give the side effects for the vaccinations. When they do that, then the vaccinations will be more of a value to me, because the fact that we can't even sue them and they could just do that, like, fuck that, bro. I need to be able to sue motherfuckers.
Sense into these parents that are not vaccinating and are sometimes lying about it. A feeble Trump had a terrifying meltdown and is really digging his own grave here. Donald Trump's tariff time bomb is ticking, ticking, ticking.
I know that the tariffs went down 25% for Japan and somebody else, but
2 days away here. And the blast radius, if this bomb goes off on Wednesday, although now it's like, when are the tariffs going into place? He's going to decide Wednesday, but they might not go into place until August. If they do, it's going to blow up your wallet, could blow up your job. It can even blow up Elon Musk's bruised ego. Okay, here is Donald Trump with another more of these overnight posts. Quote, I am pleased to announce that the United States tariff letters and or deals with various countries from around the world will be delivered starting 12 p.m. Eastern today, Monday, July 7th. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. You know, nothing says leadership like a late night, Sunday night press release to the entire planet. We are sending tariff letters. Now remember that we were...
You're going to get that letter in the mail, bucko. This is how much you're going to be paying. Once you open that fucking letter, he's like, yep, that's how much you're paying.
90 deals in 90 days. We're at 88 days, and we have, I guess, one deal. It's a very bad deal with Vietnam. If the Vietnam deal is any indication of what is forthcoming, it's not going to be good.
What's the Vietnam deal? I want to see what that deal is.
Donald Trump then adding an additional threat on Truth Central, saying, quote, any country aligning themselves with the anti-American policies of BRICS will be charged an additional 10% tariff. There will be no...
If you line up with Andes, you pay more. I don't even know what BRICS is.
Exceptions to this policy. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So let me give you the timeline. April 2nd, Trump pauses steep tariffs for 90 days. The pause ends July 9th. That's the day after tomorrow. Countries without side deals face getting levied with tariffs anywhere from 10% up to 70%. Right now, we have the Vietnam deal, which is a disaster. We have the UK that is, they've not done a deal. It's sort of like a patched together workaround.
Hey, speak about UK, bro, they're fucked right now, bro. And especially the fact that their police want to say get rid of free speech. I ain't about that. I'm about to smack some redcoats up, bro. UK could suck my...
And then you've got the EU begging for like a last minute mini deal. And then India, Brazil, and South Africa now are branded as anti-American, and they're still in limbo. Who knows what Trump's going to do to them next? Now, as of this moment, we have a stock market situation that is not so good. On this news, the Dow is down just about 300 points between friends, right? I mean, who cares really? And then we have a number of different problems. One problem is that these tariffs, if they go into play, are expected to cost the average family about $2,300 a year, I believe is the latest update, although everything is sort of like, it depends, it's not really clear. We could have a supply chain boomerang where American manufacturers that import parts from these critical countries are going to see prices spike. They might have to do layoffs. The electoral math is a problem. It's another gut punch to the Rust Belt. It's another gut punch to the Farm Belt. It isolates the United States when you threaten allies and then say, not only am I threatening you for what you do with us, I'm going to potentially threaten you for what you do with the BRICS. There's a legal limbo because a lot of these tariffs would go beyond the WTO ceilings. What happens? Lawsuits? I don't know. It's complete and total chaos. And then just as like a quick history reminder, tariffs deepened the Great Depression if you go back to Smoot-Hawley in the early 20th century. And you also don't need to go back that far. You just go back to 2018. What was it, 18 or 17? You go back to Trump's first term, and you realize, oh, Trump's prior tariffs created net job losses in farming, net job losses in manufacturing, and then it also precipitated billions in subsidies. We've seen this movie before. It always seems to end the exact same way. Will we know in 48 hours? Honestly, I'm not really...
No, we won't know in 48 hours. We'll know in a year. Midterm, we'll know if this shit works or not.
Donald Trump dropped an anti-Semitic slur during a recent speech, referring to certain bankers as Shylocks, straight out of the anti-Semitism playbook. Then he played dumb. Listen to this.
But if you love them or if you love...
Shylock is a slur? I didn't even know this. And I'm usually good with slurs, so...
Somebody that you're leaving it to, think of that. No death tax, no estate tax.
Couple of slurs around here, you know what I'm saying?
Going to the banks and borrowing from, in some cases, a fine banker. and in some cases, Shylocks and bad people.
The term Shylock, if you're not familiar with it, widely considered anti-Semitic when used to describe bankers in a negative way, comes from Shakespeare's play The Merchant of Venice.
Damn, bro, Shakespeare was talking his shit back then. Yo, Shakespeare hated Jews.
Where Shylock is a Jewish lender and is portrayed as extraordinarily negative.
Like a Jew?
And the character has long been used to promote anti-Semitic stereotypes. It kind of has become a shorthand for Jewish greed in European literature, in anti-Semitic propaganda. Now, Donald Trump was confronted about this by a reporter after using the phrase or the term, and he goes, "Oh, I don't know anything about that. No, I've never heard that."
I wanted to ask you about one of the words you used during your speech, Shylocks. That's widely viewed as an anti-Semitic phrase.
Porch monkey. I'm bringing it back.
That word to be used.
No, I've never heard it that way. To me, a Shylock is somebody that's a money lender at high rates. I've
Look at everybody behind him smirking.
never heard it that way. You view it differently than me. I've never heard that.
I never heard of that as a slur. I mean, I'm not really anti-Semitic, so I wouldn't know every Jew thing, but yeah.
Sir, you use the N-word. Did you know that that's offensive to black people and to anyone who is disgusted by racism? No, for me the term was always different. It was just sort of the loving way that slave owners would refer to slaves on the plantation. It's interesting that you see it that way, but I just...
That's how, East LA Mexicans use the N-word, It's just out of love. Shout out to East LA, baby.
Saw it that way. Now, what's the most generous possible view of this that we can give to Trump? We'll be as charitable as possible. The charitable view is Trump's been palling around with anti-Semitic business people his entire life, and he simply never was curious enough. What does it mean when they say Shylock? He was never curious enough to actually look it up. That's the most charitable interpretation. Why do we give Trump any level of charity at this point in time? I don't know, but I think that that's the best I can come up with. What do you think?
Hey, new diss word unlocked.
At davidpakman.com, let me know. If you like this show, I would love for you to get my Substack.
Skip.
Up now at brain clearly misfiring again and again and again. If Biden answered a single question like this, it would have been a week on Fox.
Bro, Biden's question answering was trash. Don't even bring that motherfucker up.
News. But it's only Trump, right? So who cares? Very simple question. July 9th, the day after tomorrow, is the 90-day deadline for 90 deals in 90 days. So the expectation...
And guess what? Cut the malarkey.
It would be, well, on July 9th, the tariffs go into place if the 90 deals aren't made. Trump is asked about that because now they're saying, well, they would go into place in August. But then, so what does the deadline really mean? I don't know. And Trump's just confused.
Mr. President, do the tariff rates change at all on July 9th, or do they change on August 1st?
What are you talking about?
Tariff rates.
What are you talking about? Like your main thing that you're doing economically?
Do they change on July 9th or August 1st?
No, they're going to be tariffs. The tariffs are going to be the tariffs. I think we'll have most countries done by July 9th, yeah. Either a letter or a deal.
Okay, so he's going to notify them by that time, and then it'll take an effect soon after that.
But they go into effect on August 1st.
Okay, so letters go out soon, then the effects go on August. Okay, got it.
Went into effect August 1st.
There's Howard Lutnick having to save him. Trump has no idea what's going on. It's a very interesting question. The deadline is July 9th. For what? Well,
for the letters to go out, apparently.
I guess not really for the tariffs going into place.
Right.
But wasn't it a 90-day pause on the tariffs? Yes, it was a 90-day pause, after which there's a 21-day moratorium. What? They don't have any idea what they're doing. They just have no idea what they are
90
doing. And
days
Trump
to
has
strike
no
up the
clue what's
deal,
going on.
And then it'll take
Reporter
effect in
says,
August.
hey,
That makes sense.
we got a problem in Texas with these floods. There's vacancies at the National Weather Service. Are you investigating this? Trump's like, nah, it's fine.
There is.
Okay, I'll let you keep going.
Okay. Well, what's going on?
No, my dad picked her up, and they told her next time she needs to bring more snacks, even though they told on the email that they would have lunch available for them.
So they didn't have lunch for her?
They said they ran out of the bean and cheese burritos.
So is he gonna go get her some food?
I told him to go to Winco. That way he can get like a pre-made pizza for Reiko to eat right away. Yeah, I know. I was like, now I'm kind of mad a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you paid all that money.
Yeah, and I'm like, how do you guys run out? You know how many people are going to be there.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. You should be able to complain or something like that.
I'm like.
Maybe we have to call the administration and let them know they messed up.
Yeah, I was like.
That's so bad.
Yeah, they're like, they gave her an apple.
They gave her an apple?
Thankfully, I packed a jerky. I packed a fruit bar. You know, the fig bar. I packed what's it called? But it's been 9 hours.
That girl needs calories.
So I'm like, what
yeah,
the
get her
heck?
pizza
An
right away.
apple? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
An apple.
They didn't feed. They didn't feed my daughter at the camp, guys.
They gave her an apple.
They gave her an apple in 9 hours. She needs to get some food. Yeah, get her some pizza.
I'm laughing out of.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Mike said that he hates David. David Pakman. He's like, that guy's so annoying.
He just says all like the talking points.
Yeah, he's just like a echo
Yeah.
machine. That's funny because his book is called The Echo Machine, but he's like an echo machine.
Isn't it ironic?
That's pretty funny, huh?
It's kind of like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Well, what time will they be home?
They're already on their way back. They're
Okay.
gonna stop by Winco on the way, like I said.
Are you gonna make the celery thing or the?
I'm gonna. I told him just get a big pizza for everyone.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll see. I'll make it for lunch for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I want to see if we have enough tortillas so I can make her an actual bean and cheese burrito.
Yeah, there is some in the fridge.
Yeah, tortillas.
Yeah, there's beans that I've cooked.
And then how's the Colby doing?
The cheese, you just need to grate it.
Okay. Is there much left or no?
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's enough. And
No,
then you just
the
gotta. We'll get
Colby?
some. Yeah, there's enough.
I'll double check. But
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, that guy David, he can be annoying, but also other conservatives can be pretty annoying too, bro.
Fault, but also I wouldn't really blame Biden either.
Are you investigating whether some of the cuts to the federal government left key vacancies at the National Weather Service or the emergency coordination?
Look at Lutnick shaking his head like a lap dog.
Yo, like a lap dog.
I'll tell you, you look at that water situation that all is, and that was really the Biden setup. That was not our setup, but I wouldn't blame Biden for it either. I would just say this is a 100-year catastrophe.
Listen, he's saying it's Biden's setup, but he wouldn't blame Biden. Very generous of him. Of course, this has nothing to do with Biden. Biden was attempting to fully staff the National Weather Service. They had a few vacancies. Trump came in and just decimated it. Decimated metaphorically, not literally. It could be confusing. Significant further cuts under Donald Trump. Trump then asked more specifically, the meteorologists you and Elon fired, should they be hired back? Trump's like, nah, wouldn't make a difference.
In light of the floods, do you think that the federal government needs to hire back any of the meteorologists who were fired in the last few months?
I wouldn't know that. I really wouldn't. I would think not. This was the thing that happened in seconds. Nobody expected it. Nobody saw it.
Speaking about the floods and the way it happened, from what I've been hearing, is that they seed the clouds, and by seeding they mean the weather, like how they control the weather. They're pushing more moisture into it, so it falls down even harder. So they're saying it's low key planned, like a weather attack. I mean, take it with a grain of salt, but I mean, it kind of hit when it needed to hit, right?
Very talented people are there. They didn't see it. it's, I guess they said once in 100 years they've never seen anything like this. So I wouldn't, I mean, people are trying to blame the school, they're trying to blame the camp, they're trying to blame, it's just a horrible thing. But no, I wouldn't say that.
Mother Nature will always fuck shit up.
Nope, he definitely does not want to hire back any meteorologist. And then finally, Trump asked about a ship that was hit in the Red Sea. Trump's answer essentially, huh? Huh?
President, have you been briefed on the ship that was hit in the Red Sea? Do you know if the Houthis attacked that ship today?
We'll give you a report sometime tonight or tomorrow.
Yo, if the Houthis attacked one of our ships, bro, they're gonna get their ass bombed again. Like, no delay. Like, the Houthis are gonna get their ass kicked if they did that. We'll see.
Translation, I haven't yet spoken to Sean Hannity about what it is that I'm supposed to say about that.
Yeah, they're just gonna bomb the shit out of them. That's all they're gonna do.
Every one of these press conferences, more disastrous than the last, more confusion than the last. You know, I'm watching this Netflix series, 0 Day, with Bobby D, Robert De Niro, who Trump hates now, and Jesse Plemons and some.
I once fucked up Robert De Niro's lunch. This motherfucker, I guess their movie crew for Robert De Niro's movie, I don't know which movie it was, they called into my shop that I was bartending at, and they ordered 50 fucking sandwiches, bro. 50 sandwiches for the next day. So Alex is in the back making all these sandwiches, and later on we get the delivery, they come and get the catering, and then later on they call back like 5 hours later when I'm just completely done with the shop. I'm closing up, and the guy on the phone is like, "You just messed up Robert De Niro's sandwich. How dare you, da 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 da." And I'm like, man, fuck you and fuck Robert De Niro. Alright? Click. Fuck that. Fuck catering. Fuck Robert De Niro's sandwich. Fuck you, bro.
Actors. And it's very interesting because they seem to be weaving together elements of Biden and Trump. Robert De Niro plays a former president in it who's brought back to deal with a little problem that they have. And they kind of weave together elements of Trump and Biden. There's like a cognitive test scene, which I'm not giving anything away by just mentioning that. There's a cognitive test scene where you see, actually, it's not even meant to be this. You see in the scene that a real cognitive test would be far more comprehensive than the one that Donald Trump claims to have aced, which is really, at the end of the day, sort of like a pretty severe brain injury kind of screening thing. This guy is not with it. And I would say do it for everybody. I would have said do it for Biden, of course. I would like to see.
No, you would not have said that. This motherfucker loved Biden, bro. He's cap on that one.
Actually subjected to a real screening here, comprehensive, and then a commitment that the results won't be run by the administration before being released. That would be my preference. You tell me what you want. Have you seen what's going on with Joe Rogan? In some sense, I respect that Rogan is publicly acknowledging what Trump is doing is insane. It's insane.
Hey, Joe Rogan's ducking Liver King still, all right? Yo, Liver King went over to fucking Austin, Texas, ready to fight Joe Rogan, and then he called the cops on him, bro. Joe Rogan, you're ducking the Liver King.
When it comes to war, it's insane when it comes to immigration and deportation. I appreciate and respect that Rogan is doing it. But there's one little piece that's missing from this. Take a listen to what he recently had to say.
We were told there would be there's two things that are insane. One is the targeting of migrant workers, not cartel members, not gang members, not drug dealers, just construction workers showing up in construction.
My Theo, no, I was kidding.
Sites, raiding them, gardeners.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Or Palestinian students on college campuses. or not. Like, there's a did you see this video of this Turkish students at Tufts University that wrote an essay, and then this video of like ICE agents like.
Is that the woman?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was her essay about? It was just critical of Israel, right?
Just critical of Israel. Yeah, I mean.
And that's enough to get you kicked out of the country.
Hey, don't talk bad about Israel unless you're ready to fucking go down with it.
A long history of anti-colonial activism in U.S. colleges, that led to South Africa changing and all of that. And I think this is a continuation of that.
Dang.
So like I said, it's great that Rogan is acknowledging the insanity of this. The problems are numerous, however. Problem number one, he endorsed the guy who said he would do this.
Because Kamala didn't go on his show. Your girl didn't go on his show, so he backed up the person that went on the show and talked this shit on the Joe Rogan show. That's why he backed them up. Because Kamala was scared because she couldn't do a damn interview past 10 minutes because she couldn't get all the answers. That's why he backed them up. There was no one to the candidate. There was nobody else to pick, bro. Get a better Democrat.
It was not a shock if you were paying attention. Trump was asked many times, but what about like, if you find just like a mom or something like that, or, just workers, and Trump made it clear. There could be some ugly stories. We could see.
There's definitely some ugly stories because the way they're rounding up everybody, just kind of handpicking it. That's why I say if an ICE agent comes up to me because of my Mexican ass, I'm about to throw hands. Because I'm American. And I have my fucking ID. I have a hard time speaking Spanish as it is. So when they come up, I don't even, I dress kind of rock and roll, I guess. So they shouldn't come up to me. But if they do, I'm throwing hands. I'm swinging.
Stuff that's difficult, but we're doing all of it. Tom Homan was clear that this is what they were going to do. Kristi Noem was clear that this is what they were going to do. And so the part that I have a problem with is that Rogan's pretending that this comes as a surprise, that it wasn't obvious. They're doing the stuff they said they were going to do. Secondly, Rogan is not acknowledging his role in this. This is not the Rogan's the Kingmaker. If Kamala had done Rogan's show, she would have won stuff. But Rogan is one piece.
Was I wrong? She didn't do the show, so she didn't get picked. Nobody trusted her. On the right, at least. People that listen to Joe Rogan's show. He has a lot of influence.
Ecosystem that
Bro, imagine I have a president on my stream one day. That'd be fucking insane.
Includes, the Milk Boys and everybody, where they all created an environment of this guy's so cool, Harris is lame, this is the guy to vote for, there's really no choice, etc. And that endorsement is not insignificant. I don't think the Rogan endorsement put Trump over the edge.
Right.
But it was part of the movement that did.
Right.
And so I would respect Rogan way more if he said, hey, you know what? I went back and looked. They were telling us that this is the plan. They were telling us all along that this is what they were going to do. And I either didn't understand it or ignored it or told myself that he didn't really mean it and he meant it. And I was wrong to endorse it. If we had a Harris presidency, what happened with Iran would not have happened. By the way, if Hillary Clinton had won in 2016, we never would have gotten out of the Iran nuclear deal.
Cap, dude. Cap.
Which precipitated everything that happened. Okay, I don't expect him to go that far, but he could. If Kamala Harris...
That's pure cap. It's bipartisan. Both parties don't like Iran, so it would have gone down either way.
One, we wouldn't be seeing raids at Home Depot and everything that Rogan is bemoaning. So I would love it if Rogan got to that point. But at least he's acknowledging that this is all completely and totally nuts. Now, on the bonus show today, we're going to talk about a lot of interesting things.
All right.
The DOJ and FBI have announced that...
I don't have the bonus show, guys, so I'm against the paywall. I'm not going to go on that one. Let's see what else we got. But that was interesting. Like I said, I called out everything. Let's see what Devore has to say. Democrats mayor suffers brutal rejection. Trump supporters. Let's see what this is all about.
Okay, so this is just happening in breaking news. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass just confronted ICE officials during an ICE raid and got rejected. Number 2, detention facilities are now being targeted.
Is there a protest going on right now in LA that I don't know about? Is there shit going down in LA right now?
Multiple officers have been injured. And number 3, Jeffrey Epstein, no list, no case, but MAG is not buying it. We're going to get to
That was what we're going to get into. The Epstein list needs to be freed, brother. Put it in the light. Let's fucking lynch everybody that is on that list.
Stories and give you the bottom line.
I am going to say. Mayor Bass, I need to get my phone with the party. Okay. Mayor Bass?
Comment, Mayor Bass?
Thank you.
Mayor Bass, any comment?
Yes, my comment is they need to leave, and they need to leave right now. They need to leave because this is not acceptable.
Who did you speak with? Mayor Bass, who did you speak with on the phone just now? Who did you speak with on the phone?
Wow. Okay, so that was the mayor continuing to politicize this situation, believing confronting ICE officials is going to get her the results that she wants. Newsflash, it's not, because she doesn't have the jurisdiction.
Hey, y'all rocking with Karen Bass? Hey, she kind of lost my shit after my the LA fires, the Palisades. I was like, what the fuck? What are you doing in Africa? Why'd you visit Africa that one weekend? Shit's going down.
To tell them to get out of there. Come on, let's get real. And for the record, that park, if you're not from that area, is known to have gang activity, including MS-13 gang members. So these federal authorities...
I don't know which park he's talking about, but...
doing the job. If you don't like it, you should be going down to Capitol Hill and applying pressure to your congressional leaders. Now, here's some more information on this.
You can see the armored tank right there with some of the military and federal agents as they have boarded this. This is all part of an immigration enforcement operation happening right now in LA. We have been covering this issue for weeks now, bringing you these live looks from Los Angeles after some of these anti-ICE protests.
Hey, they got Figueroa Street? No, I'm just kidding. Those who know.
Turned very violent, and we were hearing from LA Mayor Karen Bass on a daily basis as she was criticizing these raids, criticizing President Trump and his immigration policies. So we did see her get out of her vehicle, surrounded. She's demanding a stop to these raids as you continue to see this large convoy of federal agents and military in this area of Los Angeles. We're going to continue to monitor this, and of course we will bring you any updates as they do come in. No word yet on whether Mayor Bass will address this or not. But
okay, so as you guys can see, this is the video that got the mayor's attention, where she felt the need to actually go down to the park.
That looks like
as I stated earlier, there's a lot of gang activity in the area. That's why they were there. Obviously nobody got hurt, and this is starting to become just a strategy from people on the left. They believe it makes more sense to fight back against federal authorities. And let me just show you an example of that. This is an article posted by Axios this morning titled "Democrats Told to Get Shot for the Anti-Trump Resistance." And what does that truly mean? Well, let me show you some points here. House Democrats told Axios they see a growing anger among their base. I wonder why that is.
I need to take a piss real quick. Be right back. Alright, Chad, I'm back. Sorry about that, y'all. Alright, let's finish up this video.
Radicalize. Let me show you a second point here. Quote, we've got people who are desperately wanting us to do something. No matter what we say, they want more. Again, I wonder why that is. Final point for you guys, and this is where it really gets troubling. The grassroots wants more. Quote, some of them have suggested what we really need to do is be willing to get shot when visiting ICE facilities.
Yo, get shot is wild. Hell no.
Federal agencies, a third House Democrat told Axios. They went on to say,
I need you to get shot, bro. Like, fuck. What the fuck? Hell no. I ain't getting shot for nobody, bro.
quote, our own base is telling us that what we're doing is not good enough. There needs to be blood to grab the attention of the press and the public. You guys already have the attention of the press and the public. And you think that's going to be the solution? Meaning what, in case you're not getting the point here? They want a George Floyd Black Lives Matter riot all over again. They want people to be injured. They want people to be hurt. And
I was just talking about that riot earlier that I went to for the George Floyd thing. That shit was fucking fun. I'm not gonna lie. It was low-key fun. I got a dope picture out of it. It was, dude, riots are kind of fun. Not gonna lie. Kind of fucked up to say, I know. But they're kind of, it's like a little active in the streets. Yeah.
some cases, I guess they're okay with some people dying to get their point across that they don't like what the Trump administration is doing. And to prove our point of how dangerous the rhetoric can be and how it turns into violence, it is now being reported that ICE agents were targeted this morning in a shootout. Take a listen.
We got multiple dude, that's the guy that died in Texas, right? The guy that busted out a rifle with tactical gear and he was shooting at the ICE people?
In the story as we learn more about this breaking news, but apparently a man showed up to this facility this morning with tactical gear and a rifle, opening fire.
I just said that. Let's go.
On those agents at the front. Fire was returned. Dozens of shots was fired, and we have confirmed that man was killed in this. He's been identified as Ryan Lewis, 27 years old, but as we show you these images, obviously very concerning. This man with a rifle and that tactical gear showing up. You can see the image of him down right there, multiple shots fired. We have a confirmed statement this morning, an individual opened fire.
Damn, they opened firing out here, bro. People are going Rambo out here. Yo, this is wild. Fucking A.
At the entrance of the United States border sector annex in McAllen, Texas. That was according to the Department of Homeland Security spokesman. We
smoking that McAllen pack.
This is an ongoing investigation. One of the officers involved in this was shot in the knee, so that officer will need medical attention.
Dude, took an arrow to the knee. Shot in the knee is the worst. Fuck that.
Will be in stable condition and okay. But right now, a very concerning situation with this man, Ryan Lewis, 27, apparently with a Michigan address, several other weapons, and
a Michigan address? This guy went all the way to Texas to do this from Michigan. That's quite the journey.
Packs and gear inside his car, showing up and opening fire this morning. No news yet, Wolf, of whether or not there was any sort of manifesto or any kind of message left behind, but this shooting did happen in the last few hours.
Remember that guy that last week that just killed the lawyers and he dressed up as a policeman with even the fake mask? Yo, that was wild. That story, I wish I was live back then. I was going off.
All right, now before we move any further, if you guys have been getting value from our channel, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to support us further, go to the link in the description below, buy us a cup of coffee, or shop our merch store. We got multiple new shirt designs. We got I Support ICE and all,
I don't know about all that.
Weekend and Apple Podcasts. Number one, the disturbing fact you guys need to know up front is this is one of two shootings over the past weekend at a DHS.
There is another shooting?
Facility. Number two, there's no question that the country is being programmed to hate ICE agents, attacking law enforcement officers, burning down cities, and continuing to speak about ICE officers as if they are the problem is never going to get you the results that you want. Now, here's the story on the second shooting.
A North Texas police officer was shot in the neck outside of an ICE.
Oh my God, shot in the neck, bro? Would you rather be shot in the neck or the knee? Yeah, that's the two worst places to get shot. The neck and the knee? Oh, fuck that. I take the knee, I guess. Oh, bro, but you're not going to be able to walk. That's the thing. And I like to run. Oh, you're taking a chance on the neck, though.
Center. It happened Friday night in Alvarado, Texas, about 40 miles outside of Dallas. Authorities say Alvarado police responded to the facility in reference to a suspicious person.
That's a big-ass cop, bro. How do you get past physical, bro?
Observed someone appearing to carry a gun. They say one of the officers tried to engage with that person, and that's when multiple suspects opened fire on the officer. The injured officer was taken to a hospital, treated, and later released, and multiple suspects were arrested in connection to the shooting. No additional details have been released on the suspects at this time. In response to this incident, officials with the Department of Homeland Security said, quote, "Threats or acts of violence toward law enforcement officers will not be tolerated. Secretary Noem has made it clear, if you threaten or attempt to harm a law enforcement officer, we will fine you and prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law."
They said the same thing about the Epstein list, bro. Cap.
So let's get down to the numbers, okay? So when did both of these shootings take place? The one in McAllen, Texas was July 7th, today, and then Alvarado, Texas was on July 4th. So both in Texas. Overall, you had 4 police officers injured. Now, luckily, none of them died, and that's great news. 8 suspects were arrested.
Hey, nothing more on the firefighters that got shot. Remember? Last week, they set the fire ablaze, and apparently the kid takes a sniper and snipes the firefighters while they're trying to take out the fire that he set off. I was livid, bro, because firefighters, I give the utmost respect to. They're the top tier of any emergency situation or people in uniform. And you're going to go ahead and kill them, bro? Like, what the fuck? Anyways.
In the Alvarado, Texas shooting, and the suspect in the McAllen shooting, well, he's dead. So, again, this is becoming problematic because if this continues as a pattern, we easily know why it's happening. It's the rhetoric that surrounds deportations and ICE officers, as I stated earlier. Now, here's Tom Homan and his reaction to this. Take a look.
Who were these suspects who were fired, who actually fired the shots and were later arrested? Who were they, Tom?
Look, they're your typical protesters that go from protesters to criminals. The attack on ICE officers, you've covered it many times, is up nearly 700%.
That's not typical, man. That's not typical. That's you. You're carrying firearms to a spot that most protesters don't do that.
Now, we were talking 500% a couple weeks ago, so it continues. The radical...
You can't put all protesters, like typical protests. Nah, that's next level fucking insane.
The men and women of ICE is skyrocketing, especially by members of Congress. We have senators, we have congresspeople that compare ICE to the Nazis, compare ICE to racists. And it just continues, so the public...
I mean, yeah, when you're gathering people all in one go, it kind of looks like that.
A member of Congress can attack ICE, why can't we? So the rhetoric has to stop. Or it's a matter of time for someone to, when the ICE officers goes down or a criminal goes down. We already seen an officer go down.
To be clear, so these were American citizens? These weren't illegals who opened fire?
No. As far as the investigation, I want to get ahead of local investigation on this, but they appear to be agitators, people that are protesting ICE operations, damaging ICE property.
So were they Americans or were they foreigners? That's the question.
ICE officers.
Now, let's be real. When you look at conservatives and people on the right who support Trump and their reaction to what Elon Musk has been doing lately, do you see them rioting? Do you see them vandalizing Tesla? Do you see them boycotting Tesla and calling for their cancellation? Even the cancellation of Elon Musk? No, you don't. There is a clear difference of opinion. A lot of people no longer respect Elon Musk, but that doesn't mean they're going to be...
I still rock with Elon, bro, but I mean, not like fully, but I'm just saying like the whole third party thing, I want to see where it goes. I'm open to the idea.
Ranged. Now let's compare that to how the left reacted to Elon Musk. They attempted to burn down his dealerships. In case of Austin, they set bombs at the dealership. Luckily, those were defused. They vandalized Teslas all over the place. They doxed Tesla owners. So
yo, that dox was insane. Doxing. There was a website where Tesla owners were getting doxed with Molotov cocktail bombs on each of the houses that the Teslas were owned in. That's fucking crazy, bro. That's fucking insane.
they did that to Tesla and Elon Musk. In fact, some of these people they did it to are people of the same party, Democrats. What do you think they're going to do to ICE agents? It's only a matter of time, as Tom Homan pointed out. And it's not helpful when you have the leadership of Democrats calling for the defunding of ICE agents and continuing to be extreme in the reaction. Take a look at what Hakeem Jeffries said this morning on The View.
Now, some Democrats, amid the criticisms of ICE right now to do these ICE raids, have started calling for defunding ICE. Do you think that's effective going into the midterms, and do you support those calls?
Well, I definitely think that, we need aggressive oversight as it relates to...
Yo, he did an 8-hour speech that nobody gave a fuck about, bro. Hakeem Jeffries, that was wild. 8 hours of talking, to a room is crazy.
overly aggressive behavior that we've seen, from ICE, from the Department of Homeland Security. It's not what the American people actually, in my view, voted for.
Yeah.
Donald Trump and Republicans promised to go after violent felons. But instead, they're going after law-abiding immigrant families. And in fact, in some cases, deporting American citizens and children, some with cancer.
Okay, so clearly Hakeem Jeffries is lying, and let me give you the example of why that is. He is referencing a story of where a child who has parents that were in this country illegally, ICE gave the parents an option. You take your kids with you, or you leave them here with a family member. They chose to take their parents with them back to their homeland. So an American citizen did not get deported. Now, did this child have cancer? Yes, they did. But why is that the problem of ICE? It's not. It's the parents who decided to take that child back with them. So that's number one. This is like the Fine People hoax all over again. Number two, in regards to the Trump administration...
I will say, there's some stuff that can be vetted in. I know, a lot of people that have the jobs here, illegals, they're getting bunched up with the criminals. Yeah, they are illegal, but at the same time, there's, some gray area, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody's an asshole and gets deported, that needs to get deported. It's there's some people that work hard and do their shit and take care of the family. It's do you really deport them? It's they're not really doing anything bad. They need to get their papers worked out for sure. Maybe get a streamline for that. I don't know. It's weird.
Deport criminal legal aliens. That's exactly what the administration is trying to accomplish, but there's only one.
Especially when they have property already over here. Do they just give that property to the government? Which, fuck that. I'm not about that.
Sanctuary city policies prevent them from being effective at doing that. So Democrats, you can't have it both ways. You can't demand that the Trump administration deport criminal legal aliens and at the same time tell them, hey, but you can't do it in our cities. It just doesn't work that way. And if you're going to do it that way, don't be mad when ICE starts to target people they know are here unlawfully. Doesn't matter if you call them law-abiding citizens. Now, here's what the White House press secretary had to say in response to the recent violence against ICE agents.
Michael, in the back.
Thank you, Caroline. An armed shooter today was shot in McAllen, Texas, after opening fire on Border Patrol agents. It comes just days after Democratic Congresswoman Purvia Jayapal recently said she gets, quote, inspired when activists obstruct ICE. So the White House expect Democrats to tone down their rhetoric in light of what we saw today in McAllen, Texas.
We certainly call on Democrats to tone down their rhetoric against...
We saw this earlier today.
And Border Patrol agents who, again, are everyday men and women.
That briefing pissed me off with the Epstein list. That shit fucking pissed me off. Anyways.
Encourage AOC and other Democrats to actually meet with the United States Border Patrol. These are honorable Americans who are just simply trying to do their job to enforce the law. They go home to their families every night just like we all do, and they deserve respect and dignity for trying to enforce our nation's immigration laws and to remove public safety threats from our communities. The White House is aware of the shooting that took place today in Texas, and we are working with the appropriate federal agencies to get to the bottom of what happened.
Well, we know exactly what's happening because it doesn't take a rocket science or an experienced detective to conclude that the increased violence against ICE officers And now DHA and now these detention facilities is due to not only the rhetoric, but the failed leadership of Democrats. And then you combine that with a base that's been radicalized and in some cases have mental health issues because they cannot get emotionally in control of themselves and they take politics too seriously. Yeah, these are the outcomes that are going to continue to happen. Now, let's go to our other breaking news story. And this is also frustrating, but now we're talking about the people on the right. Jeffrey Epstein, the client list that allegedly existed. Well, according to the DOJ, there is no client list.
Fuck that.
And Jeffrey Epstein did kill himself
Hell
in his
no.
cell.
They did not commit suicide. Jeff Epstein was fucking killed, or he escaped. They put They put a guy in there that looked like Epstein, and this motherfucker's in Argentina somewhere, just like Hitler did. Something's missing, bro. How is the video gonna be off the record, and then all of a sudden they got a new video out of nowhere that nobody knew about?
We're going to get into the reaction of this, but let's first hear the details. Take a look.
A memo obtained by Axios claims the Department of Justice and the FBI both conclude that Jeffrey Epstein had no client list and also
cap. Bullshit. This motherfucker had the list.
did indeed take his own life. Now, the news rattling some skeptics who firmly believe the government covered up info around his death and a potential client list that could implicate some very important people.
All right, so if you guys want to know how I feel about this announcement, just take a look at this meme on the screen. First, we went from we will release the Epstein list to we just need more time.
This meme is great. Hell yeah.
To the Epstein list is on my desk, and now there is no Epstein list. Now, I'm not an idiot. You aren't either. And obviously, this comes down to really two main points I just want to make right up front. For the people in the back who believe I don't ever criticize President Trump, yes, I do. This is another criticism. This is a total failure, starting with him and the people he put in charge to handle this.
Pam Bondi fucked this up. Completely. Release the damn list. Who cares if your boss is on it? Fuck it. Let's go. This is what we needed. The Epstein list is what we needed, and the Diddy list. The Epstein list and the Diddy list, release those both. I swear America will be a better place. Just get rid of those people on the fucking list, and let's move on from there.
Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. So there's no more excuses. This is a legitimate failure from his administration. No question. Point number 2, don't make promises you can't keep. It's like a great business lesson here. Don't overpromise to your customer. Under-promise, over-deliver. This is one of those situations where they didn't even have to say they were going to release the list. They didn't need to do that. But they chose to do the song and dance. They chose to do the photo op. They chose to bamboozle these influencers they brought to the White House and come out with these binders that had...
Oh, yeah. I remember that. They had all these binders with the names on it, apparently, but everything was marked black. Like, what a fucking hoax that shit was, right?
Information in it. They chose to do that. They knew what they were doing. In fact, let's go back down memory lane and listen to the Attorney General herself say that the list was on her desk. Take a look.
I saw your appearance at CPAC with Ben and with Ted Cruz, and one of the things that you alluded to, and this is something Donald Trump has talked about, the DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
Yo, what's up, Amelia Jordan in the Kick chat? How you doing? We're just checking out liberal videos, conservative videos, and just going back and forth. That's what we're doing here right now. I take a break here and there with some like little videos or playing a game here or two just to take my mind off it for a little bit, and then we dive back in, and then we get pissed off all over again. That's what we do here. How you doing today? Where you from? Shout out to Amelia Jordan in the chat.
My desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files and MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the...
Yeah, what happened to the MLK files and the JFK files? They didn't release those too, bro.
of the president from all of these agencies.
So let's get this straight. DOJ says the case is closed. There's no list.
Bullshit. Open that bitch back up.
And Jeffrey Epstein did kill himself in his own cell. But February.
Okay. I'll leave it at this video and then we'll get out of here.
Okay, because they're coming and I have to heat up the oven and
Okay. All right, guys. This is the last
First,
video for
she
right now.
claimed
I'm
that
gonna
the
go
client list was on her desk.
after this video, and
And
then
that she
we're
was
gonna
only doing all.
So we'll finish this video up, and then I'm gonna go probably on later on tonight when everybody's asleep, and I'll be able to talk a little bit more. But after dinner, I'm gonna walk the dog, do what I gotta do with the family, and then I'll come back on later on tonight. But we're gonna finish this video. I'll give my final thoughts on it. I'll be back on sometime. I'll let you know on my my Twitter. I'll let you know on my Instagram post. I'll let you know somehow. But definitely follow me. I'm gonna be back. I'll be back.
Is because of the directive from the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. So this is a complete failure. I don't care about a list at this point. We knew we were never going to get the list. What we don't like, especially as conservatives, if you're going to come out.
Nah, I need that list, bro. I need that list. Give me that Epstein list.
This bold promise about the Epstein list and claim that you're all about the victims, you wouldn't play games like this politically. Okay? We know you're not playing games when it comes to a.
There's an echo? I'm not sure what the echo is. I don't have anything playing that's loud. On the video you were watching.
Immigration. We see how serious the administration is in that regard. But they're not that serious when it comes to the Epstein list. Let's get real here.
Maybe low.
Now,
maybe lower. I'm gonna try lowering it.
The political games that they're playing. Listen to the
Is that
White House
better?
press secretary and how she
Is there still an echo?
responds to Fox News when they confront her over Pam Bondi's statement. Take a look.
Follow up on that, Caroline. Okay, so the FBI looks at the circumstances surrounding the death of Jeffrey Epstein. According to the report, this systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network.
Is there still an echo? I think I fixed it, but let me know.
I've got the quote.
Go ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that. But again, when it comes to the FBI and the Department of Justice, they are more than committed to ensuring that bad people are put behind bars. They have an operation going on right now called Summer Heat, which has our murder rate trending in the lowest direction in United States history. Their emphasis on violent crime and locking up violent criminals has led to the arrest of 14,000 violent criminals. That's a 62% increase from the same time period last year. So this Attorney General and the FBI Director are committed to putting bad people behind bars where they belong. They promised an exhaustive review. That's what they did. For any further details, I would refer you to the Department of Justice.
Okay, so let's understand Caroline's position in all of this.
She's gotta
it's her
defend
job to defend the president,
she's
just
gotta
like the
defend
last
president.
White House president.
She's got to defend the president. She can't say no. Same thing happened with the last Speaker of the House for the Biden administration, the black girl. She had to lie through her teeth. She even made a book about it afterwards, about saying that she had to lie for Biden. So same thing that's happening here. Same bullshit, bro. They're lying.
So you can't tell the American people where Pam Bondi was asked repeatedly. That's just one clip. There's more clips where she clearly acknowledged there was a list, or she allowed the person who was asking her questions to lead with the idea that there was a client list. She didn't correct Fox News and say, hey, wait a minute. There's no actual client list, but there are documents relating to the case that's on my desk. She didn't say that. And when you are the Attorney General of the United States, you need to be clear, especially when you're making 1,000 appearances on Fox News. Now, this is a legitimate criticism. Two things can be true at the same time. Kash Patel and the FBI are finally focusing on the things that matter. But as it pertains to the Jeffrey Epstein case, they clearly dropped the ball here. They made promises that they couldn't keep.
But in this case, in Epstein's case, it is incredibly disturbing. We have flight logs, we have information, names that will come out.
Is it going to be shocking?
I don't see how it's not shocking.
See?
That there
She said it right
were
there.
so many individuals that were hidden and
Release that list that you're talking about.
kept secret and not been held accountable. Let's talk about the reverse. I believe in accountability. So you have to now go through your process. Now, I won't say they're guilty until they go through their time in court. But again, now it's
They're all guilty, bro.
for accountability.
Okay, so that was Alina Habba earlier this year claiming that it's about accountability and there's going to be some breaking stories around the Jeffrey Epstein case. And clearly that's not going to
I'm pissed off.
happen because the DOJ has closed it. So that's point number one. Point number two, and I believe this to be the most likely scenario here, is not only was there a list, but there was a list of names on both sides of the aisle politically.
Yep.
Hollywood, academia,
Yep.
donors,
Yep.
lobbyists,
Yep.
some of the most important and richest people on this planet were on that list. And so the compromise here is let's just go ahead and destroy it, because at the end of the day, there are people on that list that probably didn't do anything wrong. They probably weren't involved in anything nefarious. They just happened to be on the list. They just happened to go to the island and they were perfectly innocent.
They just happened to fuck some kids. They just happened to do some pedophilia work, bro. They just happened to be innocent.
But Americans will never see it that way. If you're on that list, people automatically think you're guilty.
FBI Director Kash Patel, right?
Because you are guilty.
Bongino, the Deputy FBI Director, both firmly in the camp prior to this of believing there was a cover-up. Now both saying there isn't.
Add the Attorney General and the President of the United States. Add a federal district court judge in Brooklyn here in New York City who presided over the trial, at the end of which she ordered everything released. So something is amiss here. Politically, the MAGA base won't be happy about this because they've been promised that it will be released. And some of the names you mentioned were leaders of that base, Patel and Bongino.
Yeah, the MAGA right, but where's the liberal left, bro? Why aren't you guys pissed off about this too? We should all be unanimously bipartisan about this. There should be no give.
It's hard for me to imagine that the list has suddenly never existed because of this order from the federal judge. So somebody is going to force the FBI's hand here.
So the other thing,
let me add one other thing. Of all the pathologists in the country, Michael Baden, B-A-D-E-N, is one of the most highly regarded and one of the government's favorites to use when having to explain to a jury how a person died. Michael Baden concluded Epstein was murdered, that it was impossible for him to have killed himself the way his body ended up.
Okay, so there are multiple reasons why people are so obsessed with this Epstein case. For me personally, it's about the victims. Now, I'm a person who doesn't believe he acted alone. I don't believe it was just him and his wife. That's just what I personally believe. And because I believe that, that means to me that there are people still out there that were a part of this scheme that are getting off scot-free. And I imagine that some of these people are very powerful. So that's why I am attracted to the case. Now, as far as who's on the list and when were they on the list and all this, I don't really care about that. It's about the justice for the victims. And that's why I call out Pam Bondi, because that's what she led with. We're trying to take care of the victims here. If you're trying to take care of the victims, wouldn't you go after the people who were involved? Now, the other negative thing about all this is not just the backlash from Trump supporters, but it's also MSDNC and what they're spending their time doing when they start talking about this case. Take a look.
Yeah, that's for sure, Katie. But the first thing, though, to be said, I think, is that it's good for America that the Justice Department did the right thing here and acknowledged what our colleagues who've covered this case for years have long known, which is that these conspiracy theories are not true. Because that hasn't always been the case.
FBI is going to tell me that conspiracies aren't true? The FBI. Nah.
This administration, just last week, Kash Patel and the FBI were touting files that they said, fueled an election-related conspiracy theory that was bogus. So good that they did the right thing.
Ain't no damn Fed going to tell me it's not true, bro.
But as you said, the problem is that Pam Bondi went on television on Fox News and said that she had the Epstein file on her desk, and she implied that there was a client list. There's some confusion about that now. Her people are saying she didn't mean that there was a client list, but she set the table for the
It never happened, guys. She never said it. There was no list. There was never a list, guys. Believe me, I'm the FBI. The fuck out of here.
That long had existed, that there were these hidden secrets buried in these files. And of course, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino for years have been fueling them in podcasts and other right-wing circles. And as you can imagine, MAGA world is furious now.
So the bottom line is on this story is Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, they made multiple appearances on podcasts or hosted podcasts where they suggested that Jeffrey Epstein in this entire case was a cover-up. Now that they're in charge, they're saying there is no cover-up. That is a huge problem, and that demands and requires an explanation on their behalf. Will we get one? Probably not. Now, I want to get your guys' reaction to the stories in the comment section below, okay? LA Mayor Karen Bass, what is she doing? Does she honestly think showing up and confronting federal authorities is really going to get her the results that she wants, especially after multiple detention facilities were attacked, law enforcement were injured? I mean, this is just getting out of hand. And of course, what is your reaction to this announcement from the DOJ? Do you really buy it? Well, how do you respond? What do you think should happen with Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino? Just give me all your thoughts about everything in the comments section below. Now, yesterday, CNN and ABC suffered humiliating...
Oh my god, bro. This is so stupid, bro. Anyways, I'm really mad. You got my thoughts on it. Devory Darkins, he's really good. I like him. I followed him because during the elections, I was interested in what black people had to say because it came down to the black vote. And I was wondering what they were going to say. So I was following a bunch of different ones. He's really good. I love his editing. Yeah, anyways, I'm going to get going for now. I'll be back later on. I'll definitely keep everybody in the loop on the time I stream. I'm thinking about doing the stream tomorrow for sure during the daytime again. Since now that I got everything going, I want to learn how to do the capture the VODs for YouTube so that it just keeps it and I can hopefully make monetization money off that later on. But I'll be back later on. I'll add people on the Discord that wanted to be added on there. Follow me. I'll be back tomorrow, if not tonight, to play some video games to chill out. Maybe I'll do like a political morning and then a video game night. We'll see how it goes. I gotta make a schedule first, but I appreciate everybody that came through the streams. I appreciate YouTube, the YouTube people watching. I appreciate the Kick people watching, and I appreciate the Twitch people watching. Thank you so much. I'll be back later on, and peace.